Hello and welcome to episode 214 of the Random Nintendo Podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Angel.
I'm Kevin. Jesus. What episode is this again?
This is 214.
Chapter 2, because we lost 20 minutes of recordings.
That we did. But you know what? We're stronger for it. No one will be able to prove that, so I can say it safely. There's literally no proof. We deleted. Oh no, we didn't delete it.
I mean, we're going over
we could literally stop talking and just switch it back and just confuse everyone.
Oh,
I don't think we should.
No, don't want to do that.
But anyway, we're calling
this was intentional, honestly. We could see Pokemon Red and Blue.
Because
for 20 minutes.
I mean, Red's
the Switch's Red and Blue Joy-Cons. Come on, get with the right generation here.
We're using GarageBand, and when you record it's red, and what's already recorded is blue, and we're steamrolling over our previous recording
because it was a disaster. No, but we're calling this episode "Put a Ring on It." We're calling it that in honor of Ring.
Because now we're committed to this.
We are committed to this episode. We're committed to this take.
If this one turns into a dumpster fire, then
I left the altar. I left my bride to be. I wasn't ready.
And now here we all are.
Baby, please take me back.
And we're talking about Ring Fit Adventure of impressions of that, along with some other games that don't get a title reference, including Killer Queen Black, right?
Layton versus Phoenix.
You double dipped on that.
I'm surprised there wasn't a subtitle for it, but damn, that game is awesome.
So we talk about how
I'm
awesome
not done with it yet,
is.
But damn.
And I think I said, did I say Killer Queen Black? I don't know if I did say. Okay.
That was the first thing you said.
Right. And then Kevin, you have been playing
Fortnite Chapter 2. I'll have impressions of that.
Will
I not? Like, why did you give me that face?
For some reason, it's like you're starting a book report. Fortnite Chapter 2, all of impressions of the game.
I mean, that's what you use the word.
That's the one that stars Barry, right?
What? Barry?
What's his name?
The Fortnite people?
Bill Hader.
Oh.
In what?
Chapter 2.
Of it.
Yeah.
Not of Fortnite.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, I guess Fortnite has a T and an I and a T and an I, but backwards.
Yeah, Chapter 2.
Well, yeah.
You know what's funny? I'm doing a long-term sub assignment right now at the elementary school with third grade class.
Oh no, it's not backwards; it's forwards.
One of the kids did that joke. That's where I got it from.
What joke?
Chapter 2 and being buried.
Yeah, because they were talking about Fortnite, and one kid said Chapter 2, and then another kid was like, haha, it. And then I told the kids, all right, let's go to your math book, turn to Chapter 2, haha, it. So that's kind of been my day today.
And that's why we had to do a second take. No, anyway, so yeah, we have a lot to talk about besides the game.
They don't know who Bill Hader is.
But do they know what it is? Do they know Pennywise?
I would hope so.
Would you? How old are they? How old are they?
9.
I guess
I wouldn't hope so, but they obviously know who it is. One of the kids who was drawing them all this.
Oh, that's not creepy at all. There's a child drawing Pennywise out of
very joyful child. Yeah, he's in love with everything like murdery.
I feel like
that's how murders start, man.
that's how psychopaths are formed.
That's how houses get haunted. Like, oh, this kid started drawing pictures, then murdered his family with an axe in the attic.
All right,
wait, that's how houses get haunted.
Yeah,
I just skip right past it.
Okay, I obviously said this very wrong. He loves to draw horror movie monsters.
It's not better.
Does that make it better?
No.
I mean,
maybe. I mean, we'll have to meet.
He's just infatuated with like Chucky, Alien, the Saw dude, and what's his name? Puzzle Man.
What?
Puzzle Box. The Saw villain.
Oh, I don't know. Jigsaw.
Puzzle Box. I was like, he likes Hellraiser? Like, what?
Oh man, this kid is digging back into that
Puzzle Box.
That horror hysteria. What were we talking about?
I was saying what was on this episode, but this tangent's great. So we have those 4 games, but we also have a discussion about like a couple different things. There's a Jason Sales Corner. I'm sorry in advance. There's some Pokemon news, like the Gigantamaxes. There's some Super Nintendo World news. We're actually learning what the park's going to be like. And there's also this idea of Nintendo maybe becoming kind of like Disney, which is it's something it's sort of been sitting there, kind of just stewing. But it's like I never thought of it that way.
Sounds like an impending doom kind of thing. But I don't want them to start like. It just sounds like at some point. I mean, it's inevitable that we're going to get some kind of overall subscription for everything.
That's what it feels like is going to happen.
Oh God, are there going to be a Stadia for Nintendo?
Like, if you think about it, like an annual pass.
Well, I mean, actually, you know what's interesting?
Subscription service.
That makes sense. What you're saying, based on some news that came out about the park, in which
kind of funny that they feel like they're being more of a Disney than DreamWorks was, and they want to be a Disney.
Yeah, but somehow Nintendo's ending up. It's because of the stronger IP. Like Nintendo
has
they
only had Kung Fu Panda, and I think that ended. And then they had How to Train Dragons, and then that ended.
And they have Shrek.
Shrek, but
who's just a meme machine at this point.
Yeah, that's
Nothing
true.
else. No, but to your point about subscription, it's actually kind of interesting because they announced for Super Nintendo World. I guess we're just jumping in.
Oh yeah, we're just jumping. into
anyone
it,
that needs timestamps, you know where to find them. Nintendo.com. And anyway, but
WEIRO_O.
That's your Twitter handle. That's really helpful right now. They announced for Super Nintendo World like last month that they're doing this wristband thing where if you go to the park and you go to the Nintendo part of the park, you give you a red wristband with a Mario logo, and you can scan it as you complete the interactive things at the park, and then you can actually get high scores and stuff. But then take it somewhere. I'm not sure if it's the Switch or like on an eShop app or like an app on your phone or what. But you can basically like do something outside the park, have it affect your score, or have your score affect it, and then you come back to the park. It kind of becomes a circle. It's like
I guess that wristband would have to be an NFC.
It sounds like it's going to be NFC because I mean, like Universal themselves are saying this is happening. Like this is happening. It's not speculation.
I wonder if they would make, like, I mean, they made the Louvre game for the 3DS, right? Like where you go around and you like learn stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would do something similar for the Switch, where it's kind of like a virtual park, but it just kind of like keeps track of achievements, I guess. So like
that'd be kind of cool.
So you're like doing like these activities. Like I hope there's like one that's just like really stupid, where it's like ride the Mario Kart ride 100 times.
That'd be great. Actually, no, it'd be better for that.
Over like the course of like years, I guess you do it.
The better version of that would be if
you visited every Nintendo, like Nintendo Japan or Nintendo whatever.
And then you could get physical prizes, maybe.
Yeah. Oh,
that'd be cool. And
I
then
see more digital rewards being a thing, though.
In Japan, they do physical My Nintendo rewards.
I guess if
they could roll that out.
If they ever
has that not come back to like the U.S.
We have My Nintendo. They have My Nintendo. Everyone has My Nintendo, but only Japan gets the physical part of My Nintendo. However, NOA put out a survey recently asking if people want physical prizes here.
Of course we do.
Yeah, I don't know why they have to survey that. The answer is yes. I mean, like
it was just like the saddest thing ever, just seeing like them go from offering, and I quote, authentic Mario hat to pick any of these random Switch and 3DS games, including the Punch-Out game that you could have gotten with the authentic Mario hat. So I got both.
Now, at the time, the Punch-Out game, because I got Punch-Out not knowing what to do with the hat, as I've said on this podcast many times.
What did that mean?
It hurt me to this day. But no, to your point, or my point, the Punch-Out game was not originally part of the deal. It was either Punch-Out or the hat.
It wasn't part of the deal.
It was not part of the deal. It was an independent thing that's supposed to only be available then. And then they did it again later.
They had me out authentic until I put it on. It's like, it doesn't actually go all the way down. It's not
only that, but it's like, is Mario's head the size of like a small, like apple?
It's like a normal,
pretty snug hat.
Well, he's
a pretty big hat.
He is a small dude.
But he's like a small dude.
He is a small dude.
Portly.
He's also not real. It's probably worth mentioning.
Wow. Okay.
Excuse me. What?
I guess
he's not real.
Sorry, guys.
How's he not? I mean, we know about him and his adventures and stuff. They're documented in these games that we have to play ourselves for some reason instead of a book.
Yeah, like you're bare odds of Santa being real at this point, following your.
Excuse me.
There's more evidence of Mario at this point.
But it's all like control. Anyway, the point is, to your subscription point, I wouldn't be surprised. I have met him multiple times.
Yeah,
he came here. He was in this room.
Yeah, then where's the argument?
I've also met a Santa at a mall. Are you saying Santa's real too?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, as long as consistent.
He's always at our mall. He's always at Lakewood, right? Like,
yeah.
But it's funny because he's also over by my mall
well,
at the same time.
Well,
that was fake.
You have the real one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He only goes to a few locations. I mean,
I see. Yeah, he's a busy dude.
Yeah. He's like, the people here that don't need my charity.
Okay. I'm not gonna. I have nothing to say about that one. But no, what I was gonna say is, so your subscription idea, like what if they did ultimately, if they became like a Disney Plus, Nintendo Plus, or something, it's not that far fetched. They're already trying to loop everything together, for better or worse.
Kind of like the closest game they have to that, I guess.
To what? Like
can you kind of? I mean,
something that they can like turn into.
Yeah, it's the only console game right now. I mean, it's the only like game as service one. Actually,
they have the Mario Kart Tour $5 pass.
No, on a console.
Oh yeah, but see, that's what they should do. They should just
want to count that though. How terrible that.
My point is, they should put this all together and charge one flat rate if they're going to do that.
We talked about this last.
Yeah, but at that time,
like $20 a month, maybe. Give me all this. I mean, the theme park would obviously have to be more expensive, but
yeah. No, $20. That's fine. I'll pay $20 for.
Sweating.
Because it's like a heat.
Wait, so you're saying a subscription that includes like you get all the games and you also get like a pass to their.
Or you get a discount on going, or something like that.
I guess it would be a discount.
Yeah, but like that would.
That's
be
true. It's Universal, and it's not. They don't have their own part.
That would be kind of them going full Disney, I guess. But it's kind of interesting because like I feel like the Nintendo of this generation is not the Nintendo of the generation 1 or 2 ago. That like they would not have done this Disney thing 2 generations ago. Like it's interesting how much they've changed in such little.
Wait, what do you mean, like 2 generations?
Well, like think about in the Wii era. Would they have opened a theme park? Maybe actually in the Wii era they might have. Think about in the GameCube era.
I was like in the Wii era, I thought they were rolling in money.
Yeah, I don't even mean rolling in money. I mean like their corporate philosophy almost. Like to back it up of sec. Like every generation.
What was
is different.
Animal Crossing? Like I guess I feel like for them to have like I don't know. You need a good balance of like cuddly to mature character mascots.
Yeah,
but,
no, I
can't think of too many during the GameCube era.
I mean like. With the Nintendo that was chasing
just
power,
kid marketable. It's like what I'm looking at.
Yeah, but like with the Nintendo that was chasing power in the GameCube era, be the Nintendo that's like, oh yeah, a theme park makes sense for our brand. Like at the time, I feel like that was not.
I mean, when they were making cereal, it kind of feels like they would have been down.
When they're making what?
Cereal on the NES era.
Yeah, no, for sure, that one would have been. It's weird because like each generation,
I guess
Nintendo kind of changes.
But I guess I couldn't see them doing it during the GameCube.
Right, or like even like the N64 era, they probably wouldn't have done it because like
they did it during the Wii U days. That was an awesome park, Nintendo Land.
Ah, that was good. Yeah. No, but it's just like... I was like, that was not good.
Done.
But no, it's just like... It's kind of interesting if you look at it, because we're always talking in like...
It's hard for me not to think of micro USBs whenever Kevin says done.
Oh, right. Yeah, last episode, your micro USB ultimatum.
It's been like engraved in my head now. Anyway.
But no, I was going to say... Like, he's just silent. What I was going to say is...
It's a catchphrase on a t-shirt.
It's...
done.
We're gonna play.
We're gonna mark it.
Kevin. TKO. We'll play TKO. I'll make a shirt that says "I'm done." Stupid USB micro cable.
This has to become a running thing now. Like every episode, we have to work it in. But I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the generations. Like yeah, you're right. In '80s Nintendo, they certainly would have done it. In like mid-90s Nintendo, they barely did merchandise. I remember like it was a
which
big
generation
deal.
is 90s?
When did
Like
the Super Mario Bros.
N64.
show?
Oh,
That was early
the Super
90s.
Nintendo.
That was still when they were... So merch happened, IP expansion happened up until the Mario movie bombed, and then they scaled back tremendously. So like 94, 95.
Why would they do that? That movie's great.
It's great, but not for the reasons it should be, and that
Oh
upset
yeah,
Nintendo,
no,
and it
absolutely,
did. Yeah,
yeah.
and I know.
A couple of beers in, that movie's great.
We actually a few years ago saw it with some of the creators there, and they did a whole Q&A. It was actually really cool. We have an article about it on the site from a few years ago where like we have the quotes from the creators are like, I don't know, I had no idea what was going on. Or, like my script like was not what that movie became.
I'll give them that. It sounded like they actually tried, but they were just really confused.
They were really confused
because it didn't really have any help from over there.
What?
It didn't sound like they had like Japan or like Nintendo.
Oh no,
like,
they just signed it.
They didn't care. They were just like, we're not even going to try to support them. I guess the CDI games happened, so clearly they had a lot of
the movie
faith.
were like the last straws. Like so, that all happened with the Super Nintendo era. Like CDI was tail into Super Nintendo maybe, and then by the time the N64 rolled around, there was like no merch. I remember like it's cool that they teamed up.
The N64?
Not a ton. There was some. They had Yoshi plushes. They had like a Link action figure, but it was hard to come by. It was not a common thing for you to be able to go get Nintendo merch. And I bet you, in that time, I feel like are you grabbing Nintendo merch to prove me wrong?
I'm grabbing this dude because I'm curious when he came out.
No, they had some. That's exactly the brand they worked with. Let me see that. Yeah. Okay. These guys, the Nintendo collectibles.
Just clawed at you? Give me that. This is mine now.
With your eyes, not with your hands.
Thanks. I didn't grab it. You handed it to me. I just sort of snapped at it.
I was afraid you were going to hit me.
The Nintendo collectibles line, that was it. That was the only merch they have.
It's pointing to a Funky Kong plushie.
Yeah, and it has like the Nintendo collectibles logo. It says N64. That was literally...
His head isn't plush.
And it has sunglasses.
This is what, vinyl?
Yeah.
Right?
But literally, like, that was it. That and merch you get from the Nintendo Power Magazine was all they really did. Now, compare that to now when they work with every company under the sun and have, like, Mario Hot Wheels and stuff. Like, it's definitely... They definitely were more restricted then and more
This
open
bothers
now.
me. Like, why would this not be attached to the heel of the...
Yeah.
We should explain what you're talking about. Oh, his sandals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, his foot doesn't go into the...
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it kind of does.
But they're still attached, like, to the top part, so...
Yeah, like, why not, attach at the bottom of the...
But see, like, look at the quality of that merch from the late 90s versus
bad.
now. It's not bad, but, like, his feet aren't attached to his sandals.
He needs a surfboard.
And for a plush toy, he shouldn't have a hard
Wait,
head.
year did it come out? Is he... Because he wasn't like that in...
It says 99.
Because in DK64, he was like an army general dude.
No, this was actually the same year DK64 came out, but probably before the game.
So it was definitely...
It's the Super Nintendo one.
Toy Site?
Yeah, that was a company they worked with a lot back then. But like now they work with like Jakks Pacific and Hot Wheels and Mattel and USAopoly and like all these different companies, and it's so much more limited back then. So I don't remember what got me on this train of thought, but the point was, yes, I don't think they would have done a theme park 10 years ago, but now they are, because like it's like the new generation Nintendo is like a different mindset. Like game-wise, they're all the same.
Yeah.
You can fall. It's kind of like...
I'm glad they didn't, because the tech nowadays for rides is so cool that...
Yeah.
I mean, Are they doing anything Metro related for the theme park? Has that even been?
No, they haven't announced it. So here's what we know officially.
Okay.
Officially, there are 2 rides announced so far, and they're only announced in Japan. It's opening next summer. One ride is Super Mario Kart. One ride is called Yoshi's Adventure. Yoshi's Adventure will have you on. We've kind of talked about the rumors before, but you're on like a people mover, like a little thing, and you sit on it, and it goes.
Grim.
Here's the thing that's kind of interesting about it. A patent was just filed by Universal Studios for a thing you sit on that looks like Yoshi's lower half of his body, and you lock your feet in, but you have mobility with your upper half, so you can reach and grab.
So you'll have.
That sounds dangerous.
You're literally riding a.
No, funky.
He fell off your mic. You're literally riding an electronic Yoshi. According to the
am I riding an electronic Yoshi?
You're sitting in the saddle and it's moving.
Or did somebody...
I thought you were saying that you're like the upper half. You're like a Yoshi Minotaur.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, you're just in the Yoshi legs. Like...
No. You're like your legs are locked in, so you can't just jump off the ride. Like you're in a saddle.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But you are. Your upper half can
that's cool. That's every
hold, grab the reins or whatever, so to speak.
Okay,
that's every late
punch
20s,
the back of his head.
30
that makes more sense than what I thought was going on.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, that's bad wording. But that's a confirmed ride so far, and it's that and the interactive things all they've announced so far. Metroid, who knows? I feel like the rumors of the Donkey Kong Mine Cart or Donkey Kart for short makes more sense than Metroid, honestly.
If that's the way that they make that authentic is if they let you go off the rails.
You die. It's really
jump and you send him in a car.
You have to cooperate. Everybody jump, or just hoist the cart up. I don't know.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, you mean Donkey Kong? I meant Yoshi, where you the people that do the I need to get to a higher jump. Let me just abandon Yoshi down this pit. I thought you were saying
no. For the Donkey Kong.
So apparently you will have. So I don't know if you're gonna control, but they are gonna simulate that. They have a patent where they have a secret second rail on the top. So you're on the normal rail, and it feels like you're on a roller coaster, but then it'll feel like you're flying because there'll be the hidden other rail.
Before I get onto the mine cart, can I jump off the platform to get that little secret from Mario? And jump to skip
cool.
half of the ride?
Is it the part where
so you want less of an experience, but you want the ability to find the less experience
and possibly die?
Well,
let me learn this.
I can't help you there.
Oh, that'd be amazing. You start the ride, and there's a jump that you're obviously supposed to jump over. But everybody, all right, nobody press the button or whatever, and then you just fall down, and you just end up at the exit.
That I don't think it's gonna be that extreme, but I bet you that wristband and the points.
Failure.
I was gonna say, I bet you the wristband and the point system, they're gonna do hidden levels and stuff where you can go do something and scan it, and it's you found the thing.
4 hour line. You're gonna love this.
It reminds me of
let's get the whole ride.
Who is it that Warner Brothers does with the Harry Potter worlds where you buy the $150 wand and you can interact with the park?
Oh, it's kind of what Star Wars does, where you can buy the
I went to Universal recently, and it is. I mean, if you're big into Harry Potter, it's actually really really cool, but don't take children. That ride is pretty scary.
Have you gone to Galaxy's Edge?
Not yet.
You?
I'm waiting for the other ride to open. But yeah, it's there's so much cool potential with the theme park, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it's nice that Nintendo's now sort of embrace whatever this generation's turned Nintendo into. It's nice that they're kind of embracing it for the most part. But it's also kind of weird because and not weird in a negative way, but I was looking at Nintendo Tokyo's promo stuff, so they're opening the store in Tokyo.
Can't wait to go to that thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be super cool. But they're open.
Where's our Nintendo LA? Nintendo.
It'll probably open with the park and be on City Walk.
Such an inconvenient place to go, but I guess I can't complain.
I mean, it's a tourist destination. Yeah. We don't have a Times Square. We don't have a Rockefeller Center. We don't have a Shibuya.
Those are all Azalea Plaza in Southgate. Put it there.
Oh yeah.
Don't put us on the map.
Oh, you're right. They're gonna trash that place as they did the Walmart. Yeah, I don't.
It was 24-hour Walmart, and then it wasn't. So
for good reason. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
But anyway, so they're not. They're putting the store up in Tokyo, and sometimes I noticed when I was all the promo art for the grand opening, it's just to sort of signify it's a different generation Nintendo kind of. It is Mario Zelda, as it should be, and then in between they sandwich Animal Crossing and Splatoon.
It's Mario and Link. Come on.
No, I mean franchises, because it's also Inkling, not Splatoon.
No,
it's also
I
know. Yeah, well,
the green guy. That's Zelda.
Yeah. No, that's Navi, isn't it?
Jesus Christ, keep going.
Anyway, so what was I gonna say? What was I saying? Oh yeah, so now it's the big four of Nintendo now seem to be Mario, Link,
wait,
the Inkling,
who was
and
that Animal Crossing rep?
A Villager and KK Slider.
Oh,
together.
Wait, so that two?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. For some reason, even though I mean, I saw the announcement and I got excited about like, oh, cool, like another place to visit when we go to Japan, like in a couple years. But for some reason, I just immediately replaced the 2 Animal Crossing people with just Isabel because it felt like Isabel.
Oh, it might have been Isabel and K. No, it's KK. It's Isabel and a villager, not KK. My bad.
I mean, they're both dogs. So yeah.
My point is, it's the dog and a human, and
they're
they're walking each other, not one.
I don't see dog breeds. They're all.
Oh wow! What a kind whole.
Yep, a Great Dane and a Chihuahua are the
very progressive for the dogs out there. But yeah, it's like I saw that and I was just thinking like, oh, we really are. This is a different Nintendo than it was a little while ago. Like the games are still good. The games are kind of the same. It's like the analogy I could think of is kind of
they are, but it's just depressing that like to that point, like, every generation just seems to like drop off. Like. Based on what doesn't do like even though if I love it,
right.
They just like abandon certain property. Like we still don't have an F-Zero.
Funky Kong just attacked.
Like the quality of the game, like F-Zero GX was amazing, but
right.
Then Miyamoto, I guess, is like we don't have a good enough idea. Like just re-release the
just make one like GX2.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's interesting how like each generation kind of changed.
I guess it swaps out who is. To go with
it's weird because like the through line is still the quality is still the same. Like it's not like you could be like, oh, do you like? I mean, for the most part, but it's not like you could be like, oh, like what's your favorite generation of Nintendo? And you're like, well, it's not N64 because those games suck. Like there's never been a generation where it's that bad.
Yeah,
but
even the Wii U had really really good.
It had really good games. It just didn't have much going for it beyond that.
I love that
Nintendo as a whole was in kind of a rut. Like honestly, in a weird way,
really?
The Wii, that's when their stock was going down. And...
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like.
No, not creatively. I mean, as a company, but their games were still good. That's my point. It's kind of like the analogy.
They're running that Wii money, right?
Essentially, and right into the ground. But no, the analogy that I think of is like whenever I don't know what music you guys care about right now, but whenever there's a new band, whenever a band has a new album, for the most part,
I recently got into.
They change or go ahead.
I was rewatching last year's E3 press conference, and I saw that the Square Enix released all the Final Fantasy music on Spotify, and by just I mean a year ago.
Very just. I mean, we've been around long enough that was only a 30th of your life ago, so it is pretty just.
Jeez. But yeah, I started listening to that and I'm like, whoa, Final Fantasy 7 and that second battle music from Final Fantasy 4, which I never played, but I only know because it's in Mario RPG, which I also never played.
Yeah.
But I saw that video and I really love that track, so I just listened to that a lot.
Final Fantasy 8 has probably
Funky
a track.
Very natural.
Yeah, Funky just sing on his shoulder. I like how we're talking about a thing that no one can see.
Final Fantasy 8 has Balam Garden, which is the starting area of Final Fantasy 8. It's probably like one of my favorite pieces of music in like across all forms of media. So like,
damn,
just regular music. Just I love that. Love that so much. Final Fantasy 15, you can choose. You can like collect the soundtracks to the previous Final Fantasy games, and you can play them in your car. It was always Balam Garden from the Final Fantasy 8 soundtrack.
What is it with you guys in obsessions with songs that are Garden? Don't you love Gusty Garden in Oz?
Yeah,
Galaxy?
Yeah, Gusty Garden Galaxy is probably it's not my top anymore, but it's like still up there. But I guess Lindsay Sterling for more relevance. That's probably that's what I've been listening to.
That's a good example.
She came out
Lindsay Sterling, like the thing I was getting
whatever she just came out with. That's what I've been listening to.
Like that's a good example.
Artemis.
Is it original stuff or is it video games?
No, that's what her new album is called. It's original stuff. So it's just her on the band or something.
She started doing video game covers, right?
What?
She started doing video game covers back on YouTube. Oh. You didn't know that? She's very closely tied to video games.
Anyway, the point is,
it
was just recommended to me by Spotify, and I'm all like,
because of the video game connection.
Probably.
Now you know. But no, I was getting out with the music thing. That's kind of true for Nintendo. Is like, be it Lindsay Sterling or like. In my case, this week, both Coldplay and Kanye put out stuff that's like very like they're all different eras. Like Coldplay went from big and colorful and poppy to more like somber and black and white. Kanye went from
they still suck.
Listen, dude, I like them. Actually, the new one. You know what's weird?
Coldplay hasn't been good since Viva La Vida. And Death and Lost Friends.
So you made it sound like those were two separate albums.
It's
a very good album.
Wait, so would you say like Coldplay had a goal, right? And would you say they achieved that goal?
They have achieved that goal because Chris Martin was saying in an interview that he doesn't even care. Like he used to not put his opinions in songs. He wanted them to be universal, and now he's like, I don't care anymore. So as far as we've hit our peak.
So as far as what they were trying to achieve, like they nailed it
3 albums ago.
I mean, I will not disagree that their latest album was not their best, but I do like Ghost Stories a lot, and I like Milo Xyloto.
It went Milo Xyloto. What was after Milo Xyloto? Was it Ghost Stories?
And then A Head Full of Dreams.
A Head Full of Dreams is okay.
Clocks.
That's from A Rush of Blood to the Head, which is their second album. Oh,
God.
wait, you might be
I
right.
wasn't expecting it to be
It is-
attacked.
yeah, it is.
No, I think it's like Rush of Blood. Someone tweet us. I'm JSR7. He's KVN Gomez, and tell us which one it is in like 5 days when you listen to this. And we'll be like, what is
tell,
the content?
tell
of this?
Jason like why modern Coldplay sucks.
Dude, you might like the new songs actually because they're a little more like they sound a little Viva. One of them sounds a little like Viva La Vida.
Okay,
little.
maybe, but like they still had a rock edge to them, and then
Yeah.
Malazado just
Full pop.
full pop.
But you could still
Ghost
like.
Stories, trash,
Whoa, I actually really like Ghost Stories, but not as a Coldplay album, as whatever it is.
and then
It's like a Chris Martin side project, even though they're all in it.
I Have Little Dreams was okay. Like
It is a great
they are
concert.
still bad.
No, you are incorrect. But anyway, all right, fine. Forget the Coldplay example. Kanye, no, but like
Kanye has one good album.
Whoa, man, this is like next you're gonna be dissing Linkin Park and just like tearing me down.
Linkin Park also sucks. And we discussed this before.
You know who is good, and we can both agree, Gambino.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
there we go.
Gambino definitely has
All right,
different.
so
artists.
we'll do
All right.
Gambino as the example.
I'm with it.
I mean, I was gonna do the Kanye going from not religious to religious, which take it or leave it. But okay, Gambino. He put out multiple albums. They have different sounds. They do different things, but there's a through line through them where you're like, there is quality here, and which you would disagree if I said Coldplay. I know, and like like when you listen to it, it's like, oh, this is Gambino. There's very few times, even when he did his like singing one, I was never like, this isn't Gambino. I can still kind of tell it was him. I feel like with Nintendo, with these generations, they always consistently all the way through had games where like, yep, this is a good Nintendo game. I know I'm getting it's gonna be good, but it's like everything around that is what kept changing, like the whole the race to be the most powerful with GameCube, or like the casuals with Wii, or whatever Wii U was. And
I guess
now
personally
gamers with
myself,
Switch.
I just never saw that. I definitely see it now.
Yeah.
Especially now that they're I guess licensing their IP
Right.
to Universal and everything. But I mean, just before it was always, oh, this is a new console. Here's some new games.
Mm-hmm.
I just never saw that much of a change.
I think why it popped out to me is because like
I've seen it more with like Sony and Microsoft though.
oh, interesting.
Especially like with their leadership with like Don Matrick, then going into with Phil Spencer, like
right.
there's a very clear divide there.
I know that name.
Phil Spencer?
He is from PlayStation. He's now at Stadia,
Oh.
launching next month.
Good thing I didn't say anything. I would have sounded like an idiot.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, I'd rather not.
No, who do you think that is at Stadia?
Oh,
Well, who'd you just say?
I said Don Matrick.
Who'd you say after that?
Phil Spencer.
Phil
Phil
Spencer.
Spencer? Oh no, I'm thinking of Phil Harrison.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna
Oh.
turn in my gamer card and go home.
So I was right.
You were right. Sorry, that was
Oh.
my bad. I was so confident about it that I made you doubt yourself. Yeah, no, I was thinking of Harrison, who is
Like
at
they're-
Stadia.
That's how much I trust
And-
you.
I appreciate the trust. I'm sorry I betrayed it.
Specifically with Microsoft, I do see the change in eras.
Yeah.
A little less with Sony and much less with Nintendo,
That-
but only because Iwata was like
That's
in
what
charge.
that's where I'm going with this. I did not notice things changed until suddenly. Like, think about it from a long-term Nintendo fan perspective. On that poster at the Tokyo store, you got Mario, you got Zelda, two of the biggest franchises, and then you got that one life simulation game that took a decade to become really popular, and then that
Wait, what? Second Life?
No, the one life simulation.
Oh,
game, that's
Animal
it.
Crossing.
Yeah, and then like that new IP from 4 years ago. Like old Nintendo is very consistent.
Been 4
'cause you had a-
years? Jeez.
Yeah, that's it though. But like, think about how long it used to take
when did
Nintendo to do an IP.
hold
I'm
on,
not
when-
saying it's bad.
When the Splatoon DLC come out? The Splatoon 2
Oh,
DLC
the
come out?
Octo.
last
expansion?
summer.
Last summer?
Huh?
I mean, so
No, the-
it's still
and-
kind of
No,
relevant.
I get why they're there. I'm not saying. I'm
kinda
not saying.
surprised
I'm not
that
saying 4
reveal,
years is a long
that
time
reveal
ago.
trailer has
Like all the hip hop
amazing music.
references and stuff. It has
No,
like a
No,
90s hip hop reference too.
I mean, just the song.
Oh, it
Just-
was, yeah.
I love that track so much. It's great.
But
I've
yeah,
never played Splatoon, but that track is great.
but that's what's kind of like, not that you never played Splatoon, but that's what's kind of interesting is
I'm
like,
surprised Kirby isn't there.
yeah, there's no Kirby like
Because Kirby's games, like, they're definitely not as, I wouldn't say they're as big as those. Because, I mean, like, even, like, I haven't even really played any Kirby games since, I don't even know, probably Mass Attack.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just kind of crazy. Because, I mean, he's, like, probably the most marketable out of all of them besides Mario.
He's the most,
It's
according to
Kirby.
Nintendo Dream Magazine, multiple times now,
He's
for multiple
the-
years, he is the most popular Nintendo character in Japan by reader vote.
Makes sense. They do have
He also
cafes
has a
over there
cafe,
for,
yeah. But it's to your
And
point
he's
about
the
like,
easiest one to find merch over there for Japan. Like, it's
Oh,
hard to find,
totally.
like, actually, last time I went to Japan, the only merch I found stuff for was Animal Crossing, Splatoon, and,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah, mainly those two. I barely saw any Mario stuff.
It's interesting because like I think like Pokemon doesn't obviously get placement on the Nintendo store because they have the Pokemon centers. And now I'm thinking, is it also because it's co-owned? Because Kirby's co-owned. I mean, it's
Oh, is that
technically
what it is?
it's Nintendo, but it's also HAL. So I wonder
And
if
he
that's
said
why
felt
he's being stepped
weird.
back.
I guess they just want to put the people they fully own.
But like, it's kind of odd because like, there's no Samus, there's no Fox. There's
Samus
no.
makes sense. And
Yeah,
Fox.
They're a little
There
smaller.
hasn't been.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a game in
That's
forever.
true,
So
that's true.
And I think it'd be in their best interest not to put Fox anywhere for a while
After Star Fox Zero, I like Zero somewhat.
I mean,
but
how good it was wasn't the title.
But it's funny because like zero qualms with it. It's great. I agree.
Zero quality
but
assurance.
The it was Miyamoto's last game that they're like Miyamoto made this, and then it went real quiet.
Yeah, you know what's
that
funny?
sucks.
Like,
That's what your legacy ended up.
The sad thing is like, because it's like, oh, he's working on Pikmin 4, and after what he did to Pikmin 3 and Star Fox Zero, it's kind of like, I don't know if I want Miyamoto
you know what's funny?
directing a game.
So you know what's funny is there's an extended.
Let the new people, because they've been doing pretty awesome work.
And that goes back to my generation thing, because you're saying it didn't feel like Nintendo did as much because Iwata was constantly there, and it didn't feel like they were doing as much because the characters are always the same. But now suddenly, as they switch into IP mode, it's not because of IP mode, but as they switch into IP first mode, new characters are suddenly prevalent. The holy trinity, if you will, of Iwata, Reggie, and Miyamoto is basically completely gone. Two of them literally are not involved with Nintendo for various reasons. And Miyamoto has been pushed to the back and is more of a general manager. It's not. I'm sure he'll do PR when Pikmin 4 comes out, but
And Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever.
no, that's Enuma at that point. He barely tried out Miyamoto for that.
No, Miyamoto's in a lot of videos
With Enuma.
With Enuma, yeah.
Actually, I take it
That's
back.
what I'm
Star
saying,
Fox
like, they'll
there.
Star
talk
Fox
about
Zero
that.
was not Miyamoto's last hurrah. It
They'll-
was Super Mario Run.
they'll
Him
let
and
him out,
Tezuka
Really?
promoted it together. Remember Miyamoto was on Fallon and stuff?
And Miyamoto, who was the dude that did 3D World and Odyssey?
The
Cat
Koizumi.
Koizumi.
Or however you say his name. Koizuma? He's the one that hosts the Directs now.
Yeah.
We met him back at
Well,
Best Buy.
Well, we saw him. I don't know.
I got a photo with him. I talked to him. I
guess
said
that's
I was a
meeting
fan
him.
of his games, and he acknowledged it, and then made me do a cat pose with him for the photo because it was for Mario 3D World. Anyway, point is, yeah, it's like because you're saying it's very hard to see where Nintendo's divides are, and I felt that way too up until now. This is the first time I've ever been like, oh, there's a defining line here of what Nintendo was and what they're now becoming, which kind of goes back to the whole, are they becoming Disney? Because I never had the thought of like, you know, we're so in the like nitty gritty of like, oh, their IP expansion, they're doing a movie, they're doing a theme park, they're doing this, they're doing that. That I never really stopped to go like, hold on, Nintendo as an entity now is not the Nintendo that was an entity my entire fandom up to about 2-3 years ago.
Sure.
It's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn, but it's interesting that like,
oh yeah, it's a burn.
yeah, well, not burning. Like, it's just a slow burn of the transition.
Yeah,
I thought that's what you meant.
No, I was trying to think like the pilot. It was a gradual thing. Like
Yeah, it was like a,
it definitely wasn't
like
like
a gradient.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like with every console generation, like I don't know, I guess like how much stuff was getting marketed at my face, like outside of the games, like
Yeah.
always felt about the same. But yeah, like the amount of merch and I guess stuff to do outside of games
Is much bigger now, and like
Yeah.
there's this interview with Nintendo's president.
I guess even just the fact that they're at Comic-Con, like they have like they feel like a big presence with like all like the events. Quote
I
unquote,
would
that they
argue that for Comic-Con they could still be considered their games first. If they once
yeah.
they start, here's what they did at PAX East. They had a merch booth,
do. Oh yeah,
or not PAX East. Sorry, PAX West. PAX Prime.
Actually, when they started doing the Splatoon live
think they call it
thing, and
PAX Prime
like
anymore.
people were like
You're right, it's
shooting
just PAX.
paint at each other with like the whole competition, and then they did the that
Yeah,
definitely
or like Nintendo Live in Japan, where it's like a whole fan fest about more. Well, actually, that one would have happened too, because that was Space World back in the day. But yeah, like selling merch as separate booths at PAX is now a thing for Nintendo. Like they're moving beyond it, and it's interesting because like seeing those two characters on the Nintendo sign the same week that Nintendo's current president Satoru Furukawa did an interview with Time, where Time literally is like, "Are you becoming Disney?" I was just like, "Oh, this is like a." It just like hit me like a wall. Like, whoa,
Especially
Nintendo's
compared
different
to the
now.
other two. Like Xbox, I feel definitely can't. It's anywhere near IP wise as Nintendo.
No, not. I would say they went backwards. All their IPs are giving up. Like we have a bunch of their games on Switch now.
Yes.
Like it's not backwards in the sense of like
Sony.
they're doing the same expansion of IPs. They're just doing it through gameplay. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. They're not diluting their IPs or anything. They're just diluting the Xbox association with them. The IPs are still strong, but you know, having Ori on Switch, having Banjo and Smash, like I don't think people that saw Banjo for the
those
first
games
time
make
in
more
Smash
sense on the Switch too.
They do. But it's
I don't
just
even know
like
about
a
Sony.
different.
I guess most of the characters just aren't as mass marketable. Like you have Kratos and Nathan.
I mean, they're trying.
Spider-Man?
though.
They're trying
They
hard.
released that Ratchet and Clank movie that bombed.
Oh,
They
that's
did
true.
Heavenly
Oh, yeah,
Sword,
whatever.
that
They
bombed.
did that Heavenly Sword movie that nobody knew came out.
Wait,
I don't
they
even think
had
so.
a movie?
Point proven.
And actually knew about that character just because of PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
There was
what about the Sly Cooper movie? Is that still coming out?
I doubt it.
I think it
considering
came
the
and
last...
went, didn't it?
No, the Sly Cooper one never.
I don't think
there were
ever came
trailers.
out.
Wait,
And then
I think
Uncharted
the studio
keeps
went
losing-
bankrupt. That was making it. Rainmaker Studios.
Yeah, and Uncharted.
Uncharted keeps losing
got Tom
directors
Holland,
left and
though.
right. Yeah, which I think
I actually kind of like that.
I think Tom Holland is a great choice for young Drake.
Yeah.
If you guys played Uncharted 3, there's like one of the most mind blowing moments was when you get to play as young Drake. As soon
How
as
young
he
are we
meets-
talking? Like
Tom Holland.
how old is Tom?
well, Tom Holland's 22, but
But he
like-
looks like 16.
but yeah, but he looks like 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like one of the most mind blowing
Interesting.
moments.
You know what? It's I thought you were gonna say like, yeah, there's this part in Uncharted 3 where you like it's perfect for Tom Holland because like you're Spider-Man. You turn to Spider-Man.
It turned into the 2018
yeah,
Spider-Man game.
It's a demo of Spider-Man.
I just don't really want to play though.
But
Have you not played it? Uncharted 3 or Spider Man?
or both.
Wait, what?
Which one haven't you played?
The one that came out for PS4 last year.
Uncharted 4.
No, Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Spider-Man.
I'll loan you it.
Oh, cool.
I got it.
That game looks really fun.
But and you know what's funny? Spider-Man, like for the whole talk of like Sony doesn't have IPs. You know what the number one selling PlayStation 4 game is? Spider-Man. So
that's cool.
it is cool.
Hopefully
It's
they make
great
a
for
sequel.
Spider-Man. It's really cool for
That's kinda crazy
Insomniac.
that-
Did they make it?
Insomniac.
Yeah,
One
like
of
that's
their
great for
best-
them. But
First party IPs is
Just bought by
Spider-Man.
Sony a couple weeks ago.
yep, that is true.
They are now a first party developer.
That was a good move on Sony's part. Also, Sony's looking to sell PlayStation View. Just throwing that out.
I
there.
literally just saw that headline right now.
Yeah,
from The Verge.
it broke today.
Are you gonna buy it?
Yeah, I'm personally gonna buy the entire operation.
Huh.
Random Nintendo View coming soon.
Ooh.
But yeah, the thing I was gonna say is they literally did ask for a call up. So are you becoming Disney? Like Time Magazine, like not just some rinky-dink publication, like Time. Rare interview. He never does interviews.
And then he like leaned in and whispered in his ear, "What do you think?"
He in a sultry tone.
That's a very loaded question.
It is, and of course he dodged it.
Which is smart.
It is, but he said that. Let me see if I can find the quote. He basically said something along the lines of, "I lost it. Never mind. I guess we'll never know what he said." It's basically like we don't model ourselves after anyone. we're just doing. This is a natural extension.
And I'm sure
that's what it is. He was saying this is a natural extension of what we already do. And I was like, is it though? Because like there was a period there where you literally did the opposite of this. You kept it so close to the chest for fear of doing this and it backfiring. Which isn't necessarily a knock against him. This is not a natural.
But I guess the
extension.
difference is now they're
This is a
getting
pivot.
personally involved with everything. Like
They are.
Miyamoto is like heavily involved with Blue Sky. I think they're the ones making the.
No, it's Illumination.
Illumination.
Those
Which-
French bastards.
Which is crazy. Like that movie, like we heard about it such a long time ago. I feel like any day now we're gonna see like a screenshot of like the Mario movie. And we're gonna be like, oh god, that art style,
Yeah.
because they're obviously gonna make.
Sonic
Everyone.
supposedly, like I don't know if you guys saw the leak of supposedly the new Sonic design. Not bad. If it's real, trailer should be out in a couple weeks.
because that was what was wrong with that trailer,
Correct.
and not the terrible.
And not that it felt like it was from 1995.
Yeah.
Since when are rings like portals? I don't know.
They always were for the bonus stages.
You're right, but not.
Wow,
Sonic.
did I just school you on Sonic?
No, but like not the way like they made them seem like Sonic.
No, you're
never,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he uses them like they're like Stargates or something. Come on, nerds out there, someone
Not
get
only
that
that,
reference.
but like when the portal opens, it's so close to like the ground.
Yeah.
That it and like
Should've
they're
killed 'em.
falling off a building. That's gonna kill you.
Yeah, the impact. You don't have
Yeah,
enough.
the impact.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
But it's
You're
a
not
kids
supposed to
movie,
think
so
about
they're just
that.
gonna go, like just like
You're gonna be like,
a casual,
ouchie.
yeah, like.
Yeah. That's my Sonic impression, by the way.
I hope
But
they
no,
also
it's-
took time to fix that script because Jesus.
I really hope Tails and Knuckles come out, but they still look on model with how Sonic used to look.
I hope Tails is just like, yeah, basically.
Because they're like, you know what? We
Tails.
only had enough time to fix one.
Yeah.
So
Knuckles is just like a weird buff dude. They should use They should do whatever the movie version of the Sonic Boom Knuckles is with the completely out of proportion body and just have it be like an
the
Arnold
buff one.
Schwarzenegger type.
I will say I do love the Sonic Boom television show. That was a really great show.
It's very meta.
Was?
Yeah.
It's apparently
over?
super
Yeah,
self-aware.
it ended a while
Oh, when
ago.
did it end? I still see clips on Twitter.
A few years ago, not too long ago. Just like the Amazing World of Gumball ended this year.
I know that one.
They didn't even like formally announce it. They're just like the next episode, real life person is gonna be in the school, and then it's like, oh, that was a series finale. I guess it was
Weird.
Normally, they're like Cartoon Network's a big deal about them. Maybe there's gonna be a movie apparently, but I don't know. Comic Con will.
Did regular show make a big deal about its like last episode?
Yeah.
Oh, it was everywhere. Even I heard about it.
Yeah,
I
Regular
followed
show,
it.
not Adventure Time.
No, yeah, regular show.
Yeah, regular
Yeah,
show.
they kept calling it like the final episode or like.
Oh wow.
Like Rigby or whatever his name was like I saw him everywhere.
I'm gonna go on a little rant.
Whoa, the fact he remembers his name, I'm like...
You're going on a
Kind
little
of
rant
prove I
here.
was talking
Do
about.
you remember the name of the bird?
Mordecai.
Wow.
I can't do anything about it, and they couldn't do anything about it, but I hate how cutesy the showrunners' names are in this new Cartoon Network era.
Huh?
So...
What do you mean the showrunner's name?
The creators.
No, I know, but like...
So, J.G. Quintal for a regular show. Pendleton Ward for Adventure Time. Rebecca Sugar for Steven Universe.
Oh, they use stage names?
No, that's the real name. It's like, it's too cutesy. Like
that sounds... Is it like...
What was the name of the...
What? Why?
The name of the guy from Gravity Falls? I know it's not Cartoon Network, but...
Give us back cartoon creators whose last name you're not sure how to pronounce, like Matt Groening?
Groening? It's Groening, isn't it?
I don't know.
But
and I've watched The Simpsons on and off for 30 years, and I don't know his name.
Hold on, let me see
25
who
years.
was...
To be fair, those are the only names I remember. Like, I don't know who made We Bear Bears or...
So, like, Craig McCracken sounds like just a random name.
He
but
sounds
it's not,
like...
But it's not cutesy like Rebecca Sugar
No, he
or
sounds
Pendleton
like
Ward.
the in-house knockoff of Cracker Jack when you go to the supermarket.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, it's Craig McCracken with a prize inside.
Craig McCracken, who was he?
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the old, like the old.
But now
creators.
it's like all.
But now it's like Cartoon Network's is going out of their way to find like you gotta.
We love your idea, but can you pass it off to like Bubblegum Peach over there or something?
Bubblegum Peach over there. Yeah,
yeah, that's kind of weird.
And Rat.
Right.
It's been on my mind for some reason.
Well, this is a place to air out your grievances about everything from Nintendo to Pendleton
micro
Ward.
USB cables. I am done.
And to micro USB cables. I'm glad you worked that back in. But yeah, I found the quote from Carl while we were on tangents.
What, for Gravity Falls?
For Gravity Falls.
Yeah,
but
totally normal name.
Yeah, but he also worked on pretty much all those shows you mentioned.
While we were on our tangent, I found the quote. In case you're wondering, Furukawa's claim that nothing's changed. He said it was an extension of the philosophy we've had all along. I don't think there's ever... What was there, that philosophy? Because there was a philosophy at one point.
I remember people joked at some point like, oh yeah, Nintendo is about world domination. And this was something I heard a few times jokingly in college. So that was like 10 years ago. So
yeah. I'm just thinking
maybe those people are Nostradamus.
So their philosophy now is IPs. I'm pretty sure the entire DS and Wii era, the philosophy was how do you get non-gamers to play video games and expand the audience. You could argue step 2 is then they introduce them to the IPs, which is what they did. But unless there's some like secret mission, the Blue Ocean never talked about IPs. It talked about finding new audiences to then sell games to.
I mean, were they that good? Maybe it was just like misdirection.
Maybe. In which case, I guess we should have seen this coming.
They distracted you with waggles.
Okay, I'm sorry. How do you pronounce that?
Are you on the creator thing?
I'm still on the creator
thing.
Ben
Bocquelet?
Let me see.
That's the guy for Amazing World of Gumball.
Oh, well, he's French. But yeah.
Okay.
Cartoon Network French.
Oh, yeah, that'd be like I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, Cartoon Network French. Wait, check who does the We Bear Bears, because that's the other like big cartoon.
What?
We Bear Bears.
We Bear Bears.
And I guess might as well check who does Teen Titans Go.
I mean, we really don't need to check all these on the air, but sure.
Okay, I don't want to say this one.
Let me see it. And that's where it ends.
Right,
okay.
yeah, I'm done with this.
Anyway,
I'm not surprised.
Anyway,
does that make me a bad person?
So I'm a yes. For those who want to look it up, Google. That's all I'm gonna say. Google. Anyway, so let's. I don't even know how do we get from that back to what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Nintendo generations. Yeah, so they're going through them.
Misdirection.
I did have a question though. Since we're talking about like Nintendo's different now than it was, and there's all kind like what was there a generation of Nintendo that you particularly like? I don't mean just like sure the games like any. Can you like point to one and be like that's my Nintendo?
Damn, it's really tough to say just because like every generation I feel had like one of my favorite games of all time.
Okay.
Like the SNES generation like had like DK Country 2, which is like the first. Which is like, damn, like I just love it.
Yeah, and Super Mario World.
Well, because you guys are looking for open world stuff. I mean, that was their goal, and they achieved it.
Look at that! Look at that!
I was looking for tougher platforming, and
it's like the last episode really resonated.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like, I don't agree that that makes it the best game ever, but it does make it the best at what it was going for. And the newer Mario games, as I was playing them again, it's like, oh wow, like Mario kind of goes into like a little Naruto run as soon as you get to full speed. So it's not even about like stop and look. It's about like keep that get there
Yeah.
and just
I feel like we're retconning our entire last episode right now, but I like it.
No.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that those achieved their goal, and that
for those who wants to hear how we have reached this piece about Mario World, like PEACE, and you haven't listened to our last episode, Andrew and I hashed it out for over 40 minutes. So go listen to that, episode 213. Anyway, continue your thought.
Can you get this away from me? I'm having too much fun with it.
Yeah, that Funky Kong is super sharp.
But DKC 2 Super Nintendo. I mean, Metroid Prime and like that's the first one that came up like in my head, and then like Galaxy and like Wii. I think I just skipped over N64, but I guess I didn't really have like a game that really made me go like, whoa, like this was amazing. Because I played Banjo-Kazooie like
in
after
college.
the fact. Yeah.
Conker's Bad Fur Day, baby.
Does that mean N64 was your favorite generation
No,
Nintendo? What's your favorite?
Is
it like him where you?
They're all about the same. Just because each one has like a game I really love.
Maybe like if I had to choose one, like gun to my head, probably the GameCube era.
That's a good one. I think GameCube
and Switch are pretty cool, just because they both are the most like gamey.
I think I like GameCube because it really. I think GameCube is just the right age. I was the right age at the right time.
We're Smash Brothers for it, but it was a good console.
Yeah, and GameCube has like longevity. The controllers are still used. But
GameCube had the last console Mario Golf.
This is true. Until the Switch, maybe.
The 3DS one was really good.
No, yeah,
I really like
I want
like Toadstool Tour is my favorite Mario.
Well, I know what you mean. Like I really want like Mario Sluggers on the Switch.
Well, and that's kind of the funny thing is like with all these different generations,
support it. The motion controls are there.
With all these different generations, it's funny which franchises get raised up and which gets pushed down. Kind of like you were saying before. Like Sluggers had two games. There were two Mario baseballs, and then it disappeared.
It felt like it was going to be like
there were two Strikers, right?
Yeah. Strikers and Strikers Recharge, and Recharge was weird because it was like some sort of cyberkinetic electric future.
But it was awesome. Like both,
it was really cool.
Both baseball and soccer, like they started on the GameCube, came out on the Wii, and then
they just went away because Nintendo changed in some way. I guess I don't know, but
Pikmin was weird too because it's like Pikmin had it on GameCube, then nothing on the Wii except re-releases, then the Wii U. And then
pretty sure Pikmin 4 is coming sooner rather than later, by the way, because
that's what they
the art the art for Nintendo's store in Tokyo, Pikmin's randomly on it. Why? It's literally they have two Links, they have a Ganondorf, they have a Bowser.
Chibi-Robo?
Well, Skip might be
in the grave.
I don't know. Yeah, unfortunately, like poor Skip. Like no one really knows what's going on with them, but they sort of died. Not like Alpha Dream status, but they're getting there. It sounds like, which is a bummer. Yeah, and kind of Nintendo screwed them over
on life support.
Yeah,
we'll say.
By making him do like not normal chibis, but anyway, for me.
Oh, look at this! I gotta extend my Nintendo Switch Online membership through Twitch Prime.
Oh,
reminder, everyone, extend it if you haven't.
Claim now.
Actually, for people that signed up on day one, you missed the boat. Hopefully, you didn't sign up on day one, Angel. But I think for me,
I did, but then I had to get it again because I got like a family plan, and I have like 6 people in the family.
To answer my own question about Nintendo generation. Just because no one asks, because I'm the one asking. I think.
Oh yeah. Care you what?
Thank you. That was really heartfelt. I appreciate your interest and empathy towards my preferences of the Nintendo generation. I think what's kind of funny is I am different than you guys.
That's really cool. Oh, I thought you weren't done yet.
I thought you were just like cool individuality. No, I'm different than you guys in that. Like when I think of Nintendo, like probably because I'm the dude that sits here and spouts sales numbers, as you'll hear in a bit. And anyone that listens know, like I look at it almost like this holistic, like Nintendo as an entity and everything that happens. Like I treat them like a sports team almost. Like when you follow a sports team really closely, you're looking not just at how they do in the game, but you're also looking at like all the front office stuff. And for some reason, because of that, I actually really liked the Wii U 3DS era. Not because necessarily the consoles were great. I mean, Reggie literally said that the Wii U was a failure forward. He admitted it was a failure. He was at Cornell, and he straight up, someone asked him about the Wii U, and he straight up, yeah, it was a failure, but it's what led to the Switch. It made it possible. And I was just kind of like, it's weird to hear him say that. But, like, that in mind, it's not like it was my favorite era in terms of the games. The games were good.
Because, like, you were definitely, like, no matter how many, like, great games, like, Kevin or me or Elvis would like recommend that you from any other console, like you just kind of refuse to leave your Nintendo bubble.
Nintendo's my team.
Because we're like, you would love that, and I mean, like, yeah, like we love Nintendo too. Like I obviously love Nintendo.
Dude, I'm a fanboy.
Like I mean, we have like a ton of. We invest so much in Nintendo, but like as soon as like something cool came out, I don't even remember like why I initially bought the PS3, but I think it was like between Little Big Planet, probably Little Big Planet because Transformers, Fall of Cybertron, and War for Cybertron.
I'm
But
I'm a fanboy.
Yeah,
I'm a fanboy who's I'm a fanboy, but I'm unbiased within my bubble. I like to think.
Actually,
somewhat.
It definitely helped that.
I tear them apart.
My sister had a PlayStation, and she was definitely more into.
Yeah, I had Nintendo my whole life. So.
Having different consoles definitely. We skipped the PS2,
but my point with the Wii U and 3DS generation is it was fun because like it's great when Nintendo's doing when they're on top. Like the Switch is awesome. Like the game lineup's amazing from a business side. Like if I'm rooting for Nintendo, this is the best they've been in terms of everything. They're more prevalent in culture now than they've been in years. And it's really cool. But
funny how there was a period where we were like, "Whoa, Nintendo's for babies," and I was like, "Whoa, Nintendo."
Oh, the kiddie era, yeah. That was the GameCube days, yeah.
Really?
And then
the
Wii, they pivoted to make themselves be more of a family-friendly company, which somehow
still saw it as kiddie.
Sort of. It's like Wii Sports changed that. It started to once families...
older people. When people think kiddie, it's more like kids thinking it was kiddie.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And now it's not.
Yeah, because now kids think it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, you have a Switch? Whoa.
Yeah.
Instead of you have a whatever it was at the time, a GameCube, I guess.
Right. But it's like as much as I like that Nintendo... As much as... Was it like a drug? As much as I like that Nintendo is at that point now, there's something... If you're rooting for your team, on some level, you get tired of winning. Like, there's something fun about being the underdog, and you actually have to, root for them. You know what I mean? This sounds really backwards, I realize, but there's something special about that era, what I referenced before, of, the Miyamoto, Reggie, Iwata, Holy Trinity, if you will. There's something about that era, how they interacted with fans, how they did all the memes, how they did, how it was a little more, there weren't as many games, so they were able to kind of, really spend time with each one and sort of raise it up to this. I don't know, it's just there's something about that era that felt kind of special.
Memes were cool, but
it was the first era with HD.
I mean, Bowser now, so...
Well, yeah, no, I know you like Bowser, but my point is and it's not a knock against any other era. There's just something in that moment, even if it was failure forward, as Reggie put it, that just kind of made it fun for me. I don't know, and from a podcast perspective, it's a lot more fun to talk about how Nintendo can reverse their struggles than to be yeah, they're still doing great. High five, everyone! Jason Sales Corner used to actually be a whole thing because there's actually what can Nintendo do, and now it's just they're up again. Which is fine. It's good.
Just survive all those years of Sales Corner.
But it's Hearthstone. But you're not supposed to tell your secret. But no, it's just I don't know. I just kind of like that era because there's a little more going on, and then I feel it started to switch over to the current everything's great for Nintendo. Thank you. With of all things, Pokemon Go, because that was the first opening salvo of kind of oh, Nintendo's back and everyone's into it, and everyone's playing it, and it's not kiddie, it's cool and all that. Even though it's Pokemon, which you would think wouldn't have that effect. So, and then, Mario Run helped a little, and then the Switch came out, and it was kind of just boom, boom, boom. And it was fun to go through that wave of to be sitting alongside that ride as they came back up.
Yeah. You're definitely a fan of Nintendo, not a fan of games.
Ouch. I'm a fan of Nintendo, and I enjoy their game. Oh, wait, that's what you're saying. But, yeah.
Don't you call yourself an enthusiast on Twitter?
No. I don't call myself
I
do. I call myself... Wow, were you just on my Twitter? But I say it for everything. I say I'm a video game... I'm a video game. I say I'm a video game. I'm a technology, social media, and video game enthusiast who works in the world of the internet, and I'm the co-host of a little podcast called Around Nintendo.
I could have sworn that you used to have it as a Nintendo enthusiast.
No, it's been that as long as I've had a Twitter. I had a co-host of the podcast.
That makes perfect. If you were more about the game, then you probably wouldn't have hesitated to buy another console at some point.
Yeah, but I'm about Nintendo. I have brand allegiance.
Yeah,
which is probably why the generation thing stuck out to me so much when I was oh wait, Splatoon's there now? They never had something like that before. So you were
in the trenches in the console wars, are you saying?
No, weirdly. I didn't like the idea that one console has to be better than the other. I actually was
So you were the hippie of the console wars.
I was the hippie of the console wars. I was just love and flowers and I don't know what else hippies do.
Make love, not war.
Yeah. I wanted crossovers. I wanted Crash on GameCube because that's what love is. And he was on GameCube, actually, so there you go. But I did mention Pokemon Go.
Stop hitting the
Sorry,
table.
I really like hitting the table. I did mention Pokemon Go.
You're not even frustrated.
No, I just it's a little. It's like an accent.
So we can't get them too frustrated or too giddy.
You have to keep me completely neutral so I keep our sound from popping. Yeah, make me go full robot. But anyway, what I was gonna say is Pokemon Go. I kind of name dropped it. It's sort of insane. So I just saw the stat the other day. It's been doing the best it's done since it came out. in August, it was the strongest month it's had in terms of revenue it made since the September of its launch, like 2 months after it launched. That's crazy considering, like, I don't play it anymore. Do you guys play it anymore?
I stopped playing it like a month in.
Oh, I played it for like 2 years, but then all my coworkers stopped, so I stopped. But it's just kind of wild that, what about you?
I played it. You know my story. I played it for like about a month, and then I stopped until they brought out the 4th gen, which I think was some point last year.
Yeah.
And I still play it on and off, but I haven't been playing it as much because I'm trying to wait for a lot of... I'm just exchanging gifts. That's all I'm doing. I'm not even catching Pokemon. I'm just exchanging gifts so that I could get a bunch of people at right before I get Ultimate Friendship or whatever the final level is called.
Yeah.
So that I could, like...
Trade.
I was going to say, bust open an egg. The lucky egg.
I feel like that's not as funny sounding as you think.
I wasn't, but yeah.
Bust open an egg.
Well, I was going to say it a different way, but then I, of course...
We don't have an explicit tag on our...
Yeah, but what was I going to say? Yeah, like, you know, use that so that I could get all the experience and get to level 30. So I could finally get that perfect chance top, but here I am. Just...
So maybe you still engaging in part of it, but yeah, they made...
No, but that's it. Like, literally, I just open it, exchange gifts, and that's it. Like, I never even got...
Oh, okay.
Because I like, when the Team Rocket thing came out, like, you remember, like, I could care less about it.
I was trying it out.
You were all over that thing.
For like a day, and then I never went back. But it's funny because, like, the Team Rocket thing's partly what did this. They made $110 million in August, in part because they did the Team Rocket thing, and people are just playing it. And I'm just sitting there, like, you don't really think about it, but yeah, like, this is kind of the perk of Nintendo doing IP expansion. Like, they are, through Niantic, making a ton of money on a side thing that no one really considers being like a Nintendo thing anymore. It just kind of came and went, but it's still going strong. And as crazy as, like, here's some back of a napkin calculations for you. According to the CEO of Pokemon Company, and we'll link to the article on the blog post for anyone who wants to see how he got this math. According to him, since Pokemon Go came out, anyone who, like, all the people who have played it combined have saved $18 billion in medical fees from the exercise they're getting, which is a very weird stat to share, which is why I wanted to share it. But $18 billion. Oh. They, like, calculate the number of average steps versus the number of something else. It's like a whole thing, but...
There are a few people I follow on Twitter that are, like, game designers and, well, different types of game designers and artists, and a lot of them, like, they literally just go out just to walk for Pokemon, and a lot of them, like, I mean, like obviously no judgment, but like when you look at the pictures, like, oh wow, like it's kind of pretty cool that it gets them to do exercise. Yeah,
it's kind of nuts that, like, the game's just chugging along like that. Like, there's so many different reasons people can play now, because you have the rage, you have the walking, you have the catching. They're introducing online battles next year finally. It's kind of surprising it wasn't a thing, but basically up to this point you can only do online battles against people who you were friends with in real life. And then you have to rank up to, like, Ultra Friend, and they can do it online, like what you were talking about, Angel. But now, next year, they're going to be actually adding a full online PvP battle mechanic, complete with leaderboards like and rankings. Period, I guess? I think it's more like, it's probably like a server test of sorts, and now they're going to expand it out. But what's weird, to your walking point about your coworker, or whoever it was. Coworker? No, not coworker.
People I follow on Twitter. Creatives.
That's right. To the creative's benefit, the way you can unlock or somehow engage with this online battle system is something involving walking. So you still have to put in work to get to do these online battles. You just don't have to know the people in real life. But it's just like all this stuff going on. Like, it's kind of crazy to think about. Like, Pokemon's huge again. Like, it's the biggest media franchise in the world, apparently.
That's pretty
like,
crazy. Like,
Ash won the league in the anime, like a month ago, right? He finally won his first league. CNN tweeted it as if it was real news. SportsCenter covered it as if it was real news. Like, the Nintendo of today is not the Nintendo of 2004. No one would have cared if Ash did that in 2004. Like, it's crazy how much of, like, a cultural impact they have now. It's kind of cool. Like, as the guy that reached Nintendo, it's kind of cool. But, yeah, there is one other thing about Pokemon Go that's also worth bringing up. Not as cool. Actually, kind of the opposite. No interaction with Sword and Shield.
Good.
It just seems weird.
I'm fine with it.
All right, next topic. No, but it seems, I was going to say, to me, it seems kind of weird because, like, you want to get all those $110 million people to buy Sword and Shield, right?
I mean, for that, and yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And I guess, I mean, as soon as you said that, the first thing that popped in my head was like, oh, so I guess how are you going to get Melmetal? I guess they're just going to shove it in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, actually, I figured it out. You know what? Oh, go ahead. Finish
Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee.
So that's what they said. I was reading an article on The Verge, and they were saying, oh, well, we imagine they're going to go from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like the same way I've talked about on past episodes. You know, Nintendo's whole strategy was you get the casuals in with Wii Fit, or Wii Sports, and maybe they buy a 2D Mario game, and the next thing you know, they're playing Odyssey. Like, that's kind of like the path, and they think people will do that. But I think the real reason that they're not saying is they want to sell Pokemon Home subscriptions. They're creating this whole new subscription service where you have a digital box in the cloud of all your Pokemon, and it interacts with all the new games, including Go. So why would they give you an easy path to get your Pokemon from Go into Sword and Shield if they can also give you a paid path that does the same thing and make some money?
Yeah.
I think that's probably why they're doing it.
So Pokemon Bank is closing then?
Pokemon Bank will be replaced with Pokemon Home, which will be on a mobile app, but will cost money as well.
Get some Pokemon out of there.
I mean, you might be able to... I think you can transfer from Bank into Home. But or something like that. Look it up. I don't remember. It's really convoluted how they're doing it. But it's... Yeah, I feel like this is literally just they want to make some money. Like, the people are like, oh, the national decks, they're doing it because they're lazy. Like, I don't agree with that, but this one, I'm down with being a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, it's because they want to make some money. That's all it is. But... Actually, to the point of those people who say, like, oh, they want to just hire more devs, I recently learned there are over 1,000 developers working on Pokemon Sword and Shield.
That's not even enough for the Pokemon. And
they apparently spent, like, a long time rendering the tall grass correctly so it sways correctly. So, like, priorities. But there was one other thing about Sword and Shield that came out. This drip feed of news is kind of too much. Like, to your point, Kevin, last episode. I
hate it so much. Like, just go back, just finish the game.
You don't want to know that there are 5 Gigantamax Kanto region Pokemon now in Sword and Shield, including Fat Pikachu?
You're ruining the surprise.
I know, but it's already ruined.
Imagine my face, sweet little Kevin's face, when he sees a Fat Pikachu. Gigantamaxed.
I can imagine.
Yeah, now that's just ruined. Gone.
And
ruined.
I do think
I'm done.
Longcat is neat.
You know what? Long Meowth is neat, but at the same time, I'm kind of like they've done that twice. Not the Longcat reference. They have tall Alolan Executor. They have tall top-hatted Galarian Weezing. And it's just like, how many times are you going to have, like, light poles that happen to also be Pokemon? Like, I get it, but it's just
like... jinxed it. There's going to be a light pole Pokemon.
And here's the there might be.
It's going to be an old gas lamp. It's going to be a ghost type. Oh, wait.
Probably.
Well, there's already a lantern.
There already is a lantern. But, no, but, like, and this is coming from the guy who I think Alolan Executor is the best thing that's ever happened in Pokemon. I love the not really, but I really love
Surfetch.
I really I don't know about that. I think a Galarian Weezing with his facial hair of smoke or of pollution is pretty good too.
How about a bird that has a celery sword
and a shield made from the other end of the same stalk?
Exactly.
It's pretty good.
It's very good.
But how about the sound that Alolan Executor makes when he pops out of the Pokeball in Smash? That doofusy noise. I like the doofus Pokemon. I mean, but Doof is my all-time favorite, so we might be on different wavelengths here.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but the Surfetch is pretty good. But yeah, like I feel like they kind of made that thing. Like, why don't they do it like horizontally long or something? I don't know. Like, do something different.
So why not make them like a mile wide?
I mean, that's only.
I guess that's Fat Pikachu.
I mean, that's only 3 Pokemon out of like over 1,000.
I do think it's kind of funny that for Charizard and Butterfree, they're just like, they're bigger. They basically were doing a Godzilla Mothra reference. Like, that had to be it, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Charizard, like, his wings are literally fire. Yeah. He has more fire. He's pretty much Charizard X, but not black with fire wings.
And then Butterfree's literally just,
it's Mothra.
What about Mothra?
Yeah.
What's funny about that is, do you remember when the Pokemon press conference was happening to promote something, and the Godzilla... They were promoting... One of the things they were promoting was the Detective Pikachu movie. And the CEO of Toho in Japan came out and was like, hey, not only are we distributing this, we also have Godzilla coming out soon. You guys should go see it in theaters. And then afterwards, like, the Pokemon CEO was like, thanks for plugging your movie here. And now there's like a Godzilla reference 8 months later. I feel like it's not... I feel like there's like a long con here where they were sort of like, oh, we can make a nod to each other. While I'm on conspiracy theories, Fat Pikachu. Here's my theory. It's the perfect conspiracy theory because it's absurd enough that it could actually be true, but it most likely isn't. I think over time they purposely slimmed down Fat Pikachu to Slim Pikachu, so then one day they can make a Fat Pikachu, but not actually have to make him fatter. They can just go back to the original design, but now he's fat.
I think that's an article I read from Kotaku.
It was my tweet when it was announced. Maybe you read that? Or maybe Kotaku ripped me off?
No, it was an actual article.
Wait, they actually did a whole article explaining how...
Someone did a whole article, literally, like verbatim what you just said.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I should like totally go after them for
plagiarism. They probably did it first.
I don't know. I tweeted like right when it was announced. We'll see. I'll do some digging. I will do some digging. I will say all these like Gigantamax, Dynamax, I feel like Pokemon's turning into Dragon Ball Z with like all the different forms. There's like so many layers, and you can keep ranking them up. And
But they don't, though. I mean, this is literally just
I know.
Megas.
I know. It's just funny.
They just went back to Digimon, which is
The
really
superior series, might I add.
Whoa.
I still had to pick up Cyber
Man,
Sleuth.
you have so many hot wrong takes. Coldplay's bad. Linkin Park's bad. Or I don't know what you said. Kanye has only one good album. Digimon's better than Pokemon.
Digimon is definitely a much better anime than Pokemon was.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
You know how I was saying I was like a crazy fan of Nintendo and I would like,
Shut
swear
up.
by them? I'm the same way.
Sorry, I was yelling at Siri.
Because I mean, like,
I'm the same way about Pokemon. So you can
Pokemon-
say anything about Pokemon's quality, and I'll be like, but it's better as an overall thing.
because we're not talking about an overall
I
thing.
can't separate things.
I definitely easily did. That's how I was like, I'm gonna play the game and just ignore the card game because card game. There's no card game in the anime, so the game is the closest thing I can get to.
Here's what I mean by I can't separate things. I would watch Digimon. It was fine. But the whole time in the back of my mind, the whole time in the back of my mind, I'd be like, it's Pokemon, but they talk. They ripped
There was
off Pokemon
character development. There was actual character development.
I'm not disagreeing.
Ash is still the same character he was.
No, he won the league in CNN.
In the dumbest way. Did you even see how he won?
No, but he won.
How'd he win?
How'd he win? Spoilers. How'd he win?
So, neck and neck, each Pokemon, they're both... And then it comes down to, essentially, his Rowlet, because he still uses a Rowlet.
Did both Pokemon have a mom named Martha?
No.
Oh, okay, continue.
Dumber, I would say.
Really? Huh.
And then, how... So it was a Rowlet versus a Decidueye. So, fully evolved form versus the baby one.
Yep.
And except the Rowlet had, like, a little hoodie on that made him look like a Decidueye, but I don't think that mattered. But essentially, they're fighting, and I guess the Rowlet gets, like, knocked out. And then they were gonna call him out like, "Oh, he's over. Ash lost."
Don't tell you Decidueye helped him up.
No, someone from the stands, I guess one of the other gym leaders, he's all like, "Hey, wait a minute! Don't call it just yet. Look, that Rowlet is asleep." And then they're like, "Oh, it is." And then he wakes up, and then they fight more, and then he wins.
What?
Where he also got eliminated from the first Pokemon League because the Charizard was asleep. They didn't let him wake up. What's up with that? So it was just kind of like...
I hereby renounce all my Pokemon fandom. Digimon for life.
Yeah, so he got there, but it was kind of like...
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
I just love that real media outlets covered it like it was a real sport. That just made my weekend when I saw that happen. It was so great.
It was kind of a big deal just because Ash is forever going to be a loser, and they finally decided to give it to him after
22 years.
I remember at one point they said Ash is never going to win a league because then what are we going to do with the show?
Well, now they're doing something interesting. They're doing the show, but they're mixing all the generations together. So it's not just based on Sword and Shield.
Well,
it's like some sort of mix.
That sounds interesting. Maybe he'll actually revisit some of his older Pokemon
That's
instead of only catching
like
4 Pokemon per region or something.
And then that Butterfree episode where he lets Butterfree go. And you guys said there's no character development. Come on.
Yeah,
he did that, and it was sad. And
2 episodes.
And then the next episode, it's like it never happened.
Yeah, exactly.
It was development.
Digimon had full arcs, story
but all their names end in Mon, and that's weird.
Yeah,
how about the human characters too? You actually cared about
the human characters end in Mon?
No, I said the characters had. They both had. Yeah, the Digimon and the humans had character
Listen,
development.
you're not gonna convince me just because I'm so set in my ways.
No, not trying you because it's objective. You're kind of like an outlier that.
I always objective.
I never finished Digimon Try. I should probably go back to that.
Digimon Cyber Sleuth is coming to a Switch if you guys want to play Digimon.
I heard it was a visual novel, and while
of sorts,
I'm a fan of those, I probably will not do that.
Angel, you like?
I'd rather just rewatch the first season on whatever streaming device.
Cool. So next topic. I think there's one final bit of news, unless there's anything else about Digimon or Pokemon or any
Omnimon,
Monster Rancher.
It's still kind of weird out by their whole Dynamax, Gigantamax thing. How some Pokemon get a new form when they get big, and others don't,
and
because
some just get obese, like poor
because
Pikachu.
they're literally treating it like.
Hey man.
Yeah,
don't talk about my man Fat Pikachu like that.
It's just weird. It's weird how they're including that in. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, I'm not even getting this one. So
you're getting the third version.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the third version.
Or the probably Sword and Shield 2.
Whatever it ends up being.
Dagger and Cloak.
Just because. I want to. I want to.
Dagger.
I want to.
That's a Marvel show. Well,
that's why I said Dagger and Cloak because that's just a.
It's not gonna happen.
I know.
Copyright
armor, I guess. I don't know. I just want to see. I just want to change my
Yeah.
My track. I want to be on the.
Armor sounds pretty good.
Actually, that's kind of cool if it becomes like more like armor and. But what's another weapon that's not a sword? Because armor's shield, and then the sword would be armor and dagger. Armor
Glaive.
and blade. No, that's too similar. Armor
glaive. I think glaive.
and armor and
Mace.
Helmet. I don't know.
armor. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Scythe destroy swords. That's what they were designed
That's
for.
true. Armor.
But then it'd be like on ninja.
Armor and that horse that has the blinders on its face, so it can just charge in the battle.
Warhorse.
Pokemon
Warhorse.
Pokemon Seabiscuit. Anyway, no, you were.
But anyway,
you were
yeah.
saying something.
No, yeah, that was pretty much it. Like I just want to change tracks to be on the second version instead of always getting them on the first version.
You want to go to the S ones instead of the. If it was an iPhone, you'd be on the S cycle instead of.
Yeah, I want to be on the S cycles.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how they explain it because so apparently they're just
if the S cycle ends up being a Diamond and Pearl remake. Oh man,
because that wouldn't be the S cycle. That'd be like.
No, because that's what happened.
That'd be like the iPhone SE.
No, because that's what happened for X and Y. It didn't have a sequel. It just went straight to Omega Ruby and
That's
after Sapphire.
That's true. I am curious. So apparently the Dynamaxes and Gigantamaxes are projections of the normal size Pokemon.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, then
So
the form thing makes even less sense.
Yeah.
Like how
it only lasts for 3 turns too, and yeah, it's a whole...
And like I can understand Fat
I feel
Pikachu.
Megas were way more interesting.
Yeah.
But...
I can understand Fat Pikachu because the projection, just the projector's not optimized.
Yeah,
so it's stretched.
Yeah, cameras add 5
30
pounds.
or
and this is
3,000 in this case.
And projectors, I guess, amplify that or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some science to it. But...
Yeah, well, we'll find out in a little under a month when it comes out, and then you don't have to hear any more about the individual things in the game because it'll just be on.
The game already.
Yep, the 15th coming up.
So Nintendo Switch tops 15
So
million
so
in North
final
America.
bit of news is it's a Jason Sales Corner, and as you said, the sales. But yeah, Nintendo revealed that the Switch in North America alone has now topped 15 million units, which for those keeping score at home is more than the Wii U ever sold. By about,
more than 9 million.
It's more than a lot of numbers. It's certainly more than 5, but it's more than what the Wii U ever sold worldwide in its life by 1.7 million units. And the Switch did that in half the time frame with a third of the world. And then in Europe, it sold 10 million as well. So it's killing it right now. And it's kind of interesting the timing of these milestones because it coincides with the launch of the Switch Lite, which it probably gave a boost worldwide, and that's probably why the numbers are up. But I think what's kind of noteworthy is none of the press releases nor the NPD report itself actually specifically said how much of that was the Switch Lite, how much of that was the Switch with the new Barry Life, how much of that was just regular Switches. They just kind of bundled it together like, the Switch did great. Like, an actual stat that the NPD put out was Nintendo Switch hardware, as a collective, drove the highest unit sales for September month since the PS4 in September of 2014. Which is, that's a first time in 5 years. That's pretty good. But again, how did the Switch Lite do? And I don't think it means it did bad, but if I were Nintendo and I had a new system...
It's a great way to hide if it's doing bad.
Exactly.
Yeah,
if it was selling like hotcakes, I'd be like, here you go. But if it's not... Yeah, I don't anecdotally know anyone that got a Switch Lite. Do you guys know anyone that got a Switch Lite?
I was at a Target today for my...
Did you see someone buy a Switch Lite?
No, but I saw some kids playing with a Switch Lite, the kiosk one, and then the kids were just obsessing with it. Like, oh my god, the light is so cool. I need to have this thing, and there was a regular Switch right next to them. So,
so maybe there is a market.
Interest is there, but the parents are like, no.
And then there was a rumor that Walmart was going to sell it for $150 for Black Friday, and then Walmart's like, no, we're not doing that. It was a fake ad, but it's just kind of weird that they would certainly be tooting their horn if it was like the Switch Lite sold.
How much is it? $250?
200 versus the Switch is 300.
If it was 150, I guess that would probably help a lot.
Yeah, I mean, my guess is it'll be like 170 or 180 during the holidays, but that's still a little ways off. On the software side of things, Nintendo had nothing to hide.
3 weeks from now. I guess it's the holidays. Well,
that's true.
I'm thinking Black Friday.
It's like practically it's like 5 weeks. It's late this year.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. But on the software side,
4 weeks. 1, 2, yeah.
5. It's late this year.
No, it's on the 4th, not the 3rd one.
Right. It's on the 4th. It's on the.
You're counting
No. It's on the it's on the final Friday of the month, which is the 5th Friday this year.
I'm gonna count the weeks. Right?
Please do. While I continue talking.
Right,
It's counting out loud.
3, 4. Oh, I guess you're right.
Boom. I know I'm right because it's weird this year. I love it because it's so rare.
I hate it when he's right.
But yeah,
you see what you do?
I regret everything.
You encouraged it. But yeah, on the what I was gonna say is on the software side, Nintendo had really nothing to hide. They did pretty well. For those who are curious out there, there are now 14 Nintendo Switch games in North America that have sold over 1 million units, and more interestingly, 4 have sold 6 million. I bet you can't guess which of the top tier Switch games have sold 6 million.
Mario Kart.
Yep.
What else has even come out? Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Two more.
Odyssey.
Yep.
And Splatoon.
No. I'll give you a
dang.
hint. You're obsessed with it. It's your favorite game on Switch.
Oh, Smash Brothers.
Yeah. So
Man, I
it's
could have got it all.
Arms did great and then fell off a cliff. Like Arms was like 1.8 million worldwide, 2.2, and then just dropped off the face of the earth. Weirdly, considering how much they promoted that game, it's kind of weird how it just like disappeared.
Well, if anyone needed a hand, it was that game.
I resigned from the podcast. I think I quit. I think that's it. No, but yeah. So, and what's kind of interesting is Mario Kart and Smash are actually the best-selling iterations of their respective franchises ever.
Makes sense
for Nintendo. And yeah, it's kind of like in the MPD. It kind of shows similar things. You're like Mario Kart's, even though it's how many years old, it's number 10 on the chart. Ultimate's number 13. Breath of the Wild is number 20. But the month really belonged to new games. And here's one that I did not know this was such a big game. NBA 2K20, number 1 game of the month. Fastest selling sports game ever. Top selling game of 2019 off 3 weeks of sales.
Hey man,
like
people
what?
love to play.
Yeah, man, those games do crazy business.
I know, but I
for
didn't
2K.
think they did bigger
Like
than Madden.
Kobe
I remember Madden
Bryant.
was the top dog.
I mean, it usually
Scottie
goes
Pippen.
FIFA.
Okay, yours maybe all the players that are not in it, but sure.
Wait, Kobe's in it?
He's not a player anymore.
I thought he was like Legacy DLC or something.
Do they have Legacy? I don't know why I'm looking at you.
I don't know why you're looking
at
at
me.
me.
I don't know.
Like with Jordan.
Yeah, but it usually goes like FIFA.
Worldwide, yeah.
Yeah, worldwide. It goes
But
like
in the
FIFA.
States, it's usually Madden.
Charles Barkley.
No, I mean FIFA sells pretty well over here
That's
too.
true. Now it does, yeah.
Mike Sosa.
You're just naming players that
He
you
really
know at
is.
this point.
He really is. Larry Bird. But
Isn't that a director? Oh, it's Brad Bird.
Yeah. No, but so NBA 2K20 was number 1. Borderlands 3 was number 2. Nintendo only really charted on there with Link's Awakening, which was number 4. Pretty good, given that it was only out for 2 weeks. But it's kind of interesting. The Link
They probably made a lot of money that because of how overpriced it was, apparently.
Yep.
Link's Awakening's amiibo. I'm just gonna keep going. Link's Awakening's amiibo actually did really well, as did the new Smash amiibo. Here's a fun stat. For the first time, year over year, not for the first time, but year over year, accessory sales, so basically amiibo controllers, went up 8-fold because of amiibo sales. I can't think of the last time that amiibo had a positive impact in anything with the sales charts. Like, people really like their little mini Links and like finishing their Smash collections, I guess. You're not buying the DLC
I
ones,
haven't
are
bought
you?
any, and I am surprised I haven't because I would have obviously gotten Ridley and King K. Rool
You
in
still
a heartbeat.
could.
But I don't.
Where do you even stand with amiibo, Ken? Because like the amiibo rise and fall.
I literally,
so to
I guess I got
speak,
burned out that I'm not even getting like the characters like I would have loved to have from the beginning.
I got Link.
Like I don't even know. Like I'll probably get Banjo, just because it's Banjo.
You say that now though. Who knows?
Well,
what you'll
I mean,
say
there's
then.
like no merchandise for him. I mean, I guess there isn't for King K. Rool and Ridley either. But
That's true.
I mean, if I don't get him, I know Elvis will. So
Right.
there's that.
What about you, Kevin? Like, because the whole like peak amiibo craze where we were like on this
He
episode
has more
talking.
than we do.
Do you? I have no idea.
I don't.
How many do you have?
Man, I don't know how far I went into it.
It was bad for all of us. I remember we went on tirades on the show about like Nintendo needs to get their act together with the supply.
And now I can care less. They're literally in boxes now, and I do not have. I might just throw some away. I've
Whoa.
only opened 3 amiibo.
Yeah, I haven't opened most of mine.
The Mario one and the Link one, and the Mega Man one, because I think the Mega Man one is excellent.
I think I have 4 that are open and about 45 across various lines, maybe even 50 now. They're all in just little boxes still.
Yeah, I still have.
That's like that sounds like half a closet.
Yeah, I have like.
It's
30
all under a
amiibo,
desk
but-
that I don't sit at because there's no room for my feet because they're all there in the footwell.
Please take a picture of that and send it to me.
I will try.
Like,
and-
I am legit
yeah.
thinking about just
They're like under
getting
a
rid of them.
plastic so they don't get
Really?
lost.
Dan, you could easily sell some for
See, I want
definitely more than retail.
See, this is what's weird. This goes back to my weird.
Hold
Nintendo...
on, because I have the OG Villager with
Exactly.
the 3D printed nose. I don't know if those.
I have the
still
OG
go
Wii
for-
Fit trainer, which was on the floor in a Target randomly, like
me
on
see.
the floor, not on a shelf, just on the
Ooh,
floor.
but then if you got those misprint 2 Canon Salmons.
I did not. But you know what's weird is like this is my Nintendo fandom thing again. Like I'm in it for like the company, like rooting for a team. I don't want to get rid of them because I like having that piece of Nintendo history. What am I going to do with them? I have no clue. But I like having them. I like knowing they're there. It sounds like I'm a hoarder. I'm a Nintendo hoarder.
I mean, that's what collections does. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's like half
But like
of
you
my.
at least have like displays in here.
Well,
and
yeah,
stuff.
but I was gonna say that's kind of like a lot of like the Ninja Turtle stuff. I guess like when I know it exists, it's like I have to have it, and I feel like I don't have any like sanity or closure until I own it. But then once I own it, I put it in its space, and then like life goes on as normal.
Right.
Okay, so
like-
Villager goes for like $30 right now, which
That's
It's
$10. That's $10
worth-
over retail.
That's
Honestly, not worth
Not worth the effort.
Yeah.
not worth the
no,
effort
it's
to
not.
ship it to somebody. I'll just take them to Goodwill or something. I'm just
Wow.
done with these amiibos.
Wow, I remember. Now that I think about it, I do remember you being all about it.
Yeah,
You used to tweet or not tweet, text us
It
about
did
it.
take
all
up
the
a
time.
lot of space.
yeah,
They do. And it's really cool
Marth. I went
conceptually.
like insane for Marth trying to find Marth. I had to go all the way to Compton to find Marth.
I went. Was I with you when we went searching for one of them?
I don't think we ever...
Oh no, that's the Mario cereal where we went to like 4 stores.
Because I didn't really struggle that much to get
Yeah, I still
the
have the Wii Fit
amiibo.
Trainer, because those were the Holy Trinity that were impossible
At
to
the
find.
time.
Wii Fit Trainer, Marth, and
Dude, it was
Mac.
Beanie Babies for Nintendo, straight up.
Yeah.
But what's
what a
weird,
waste
like,
of potential.
Well, it's just so weird how obsessed we were and how we now aren't. Like I don't. That's by the way the whole generations of Nintendo thing.
Because what do they do now?
Nothing really.
Exactly. Like
They
guess the same thing.
special things in the Link's Awakening dungeons. Special, you can have Shadow Link chase you. Ooh. But yeah, yeah, that's kind of like that was like a whole different era of Nintendo in the same way the other generation. Like to go back to that conversation, it's just kind of funny. Like that Nintendo probably wouldn't exist today. They would just license. I mean, it does. They still make them, but like the intensity of it, they would just license it out. Like that was them
$15 for
starting
Wii
to
Fit
go
Trainer.
into IPs. How much?
15.
Huh.
For Wii Fit?
For Wii Fit.
That
Well,
was
well-
it's $3 over retail.
Makes sense. I guess Wii Fit,
Yeah.
got a resale. I wonder how much Little Mac is going for.
But anyway, there was one bit of bad news in the NPD for Nintendo. Most of it was good news, but the one bad thing is it, no matter what they do, they cannot make Dragon Quest happen in the West. 13, like that got a big push, right? Hero was in Smash. There's an actual marketing budget from Nintendo. There's surprisingly good coverage and reviews everywhere. And yet, number 7 on the chart. And I don't mean the overall chart, I mean the Switch-only chart. It didn't even make it on the overall chart. That number 7 is behind things like Nintendo's own first-party games from
I think
back
the
in
fact
the
that
day.
it's 11 probably like hurts it a lot for like the general public. Just because, like, I mean,
You think they're scared off by the number?
yeah, because it's like, oh man, I'm missing out on a bunch of them. But like, the nice thing about the Tales games is that they don't have a number after them. Like, I know it's like Tales number 20 or whatever,
Yeah.
but like, they're not related to each other whatsoever. But Dragon Quest, like, I feel like you're kind of, I don't know, almost like I was like, that's kind of why I never even bothered to get like any of the other Dragon Quests. I always was kind of curious because, like, you know, the slime characters are so iconic and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And the music, oh damn, the music is so good. But only because there was a demo that
I heard that this
I mean, this is
I
supposed...
think this port was supposed to have like worse music or something like that.
Really?
Are
They
they-
made it orchestral, I know that.
Well, you have the
There was something
you're
about
against orchestras.
there was something about the music in this game that a lot of people had a problem with,
Oh.
and I don't know
Well-
if that was just with like the regular.
Well, from what I've heard that I've played, it's like I love the music, but I know you have
Right.
like the option to pick between 2 different music types. You could pick between all orchestral or
Right, or the 8-bit.
I
or
think
the
they
8-bit?
I think they used a different
maybe the 8-bit is
a
terrible.
different composer for this game. I think that's why
Oh,
people had an
interesting.
issue.
Oh, they do make a big like quote unquote deal like when you boot up the game and you watch the intro. That's like the Japanese harmonic concert orchestra,
Right,
blah blah
right.
blah. But I mean, I thought it sounded good. But then again, I'm like the guy that has only played this one, so
Yeah, so like I feel like
I mean, I haven't gotten it, which I guess I'm part of the problem.
You're part of
but,
the problem, is what
but I'm
saying.
also like, you know, not trying to spend $80 on a game right now. I'm trying
80,
to space
60.
$60 on a game
Ring
right now.
Fit is 80 because it comes with a ring.
Well,
con. Most games are 60.
That too. There's the reason why I haven't gotten
I
that
know.
one yet. I am gonna get them both.
Do you think it is just that the numbers throwing people out, or is it like because
No, that's part of it. That's definitely part of
because
it.
Dragon Quest is like an old school franchise. Like
No,
I feel like
yeah.
it's more simplistic in a lot
Like,
of ways. Is that like
the story, like just from what I've played,
Yeah,
like
from the demo, how
it's
was it?
very. It's just very. It's like I don't want to say cliche, but I mean it kind of is like it's.
you don't want to say cliche, but that's the right word.
It is, but that's because like it's trying to be like it's
Right.
like the
it's old fashioned.
it's the best. Like so far, like I don't know, it just really got me into the story. Like it's just such a simple like destined hero, your typical Zelda kind of thing.
Right.
Like something happens in the beginning, traumatic order, you're kind of rushed into this grand quest. But I guess because it's so simple, it just I don't know. I guess just the characters they just focus on the character, and the characters are just really really likable.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that really
Which
helped it.
resonated with you, but it sounds
Yeah,
like
because
not
as soon as like I got to
necessarily.
play, I was like, I really want to see like what happens to this character. Oh no, this happened. Blah blah blah.
So here's a question.
So
gameplay wise,
I feel like more people
is
just
it
have
like
to try the demo.
gameplay wise? Is it like a simpler RPG, more complex? Because like
It's as simple as it can get. It's literally just you attack.
it's like old school.
they
So is
attack,
it maybe
you
too?
attack?
So maybe it's too simple for its own good. Because like
Maybe
even like
because there's like you could tell they're trying to make it. You could try like they're trying to make it feel more complicated because they're like, oh look, you could free roam while you fight, but that literally has zero effect on the outcome whatsoever.
yeah.
Like I could try to run away as far as I can from the enemy, but there's kind of like an invisible barrier keeping me from doing that.
Right.
But even if I'm like nowhere near them and they like pounce, I'm still gonna get hit. But you can also have the fighting just autoplay itself,
Right. If you want for the story,
which I also really liked because I mean it kind of felt like almost like amiibos or like Pokemon. It's like I kind of trained the characters and I picked the movesets and I order them around like, all right, I want you to focus on this, you to focus on this, and then when they auto fight, it does it and it works out well. Mm-hmm. Especially for grinding, because I mean, you grind in RPGs to level up, and so it's kind of nice that you don't actually have to do anything. I could read a book,
right, and just have it grind. Run. Yeah,
I just like the animation and the renderings are just so pretty. But
I think part of the problem too is it came out at bad time. Like the week after Link's Awakening, right? Like in the heat of like busy September, but it was the last game. I mean, when like Spyro Reignited Trilogy, which is an old port on Switch, came out before Dragon Quest and outsold Dragon Quest. But Dragon Quest is like, I mean, it's a port too, but it's a whole enhanced port in Spyro. You can play on Xbox.
And it's supposed to be
that also like leans on the nostalgia factor a lot.
Oh,
though.
Of course, it does.
Yeah, this one's supposed to be like the most like approachable Dragon Quest, but it has like something from every game. It has like a bunch of returning enemies that to me they're on you, but to someone else.
Yeah, I feel like they would have been served better if they put this out in February or March.
Yeah,
but I mean, lucky for Nintendo and well, I guess not Square Enix. They also suffered with the Dragon Quest thing, but lucky for Nintendo. The rest of this year's first party lineup seems like it's going to do really well. I mean, obviously Sword and Shield is going to be huge. And I don't just mean because of the Dynamaxing or Gigantamaxing, am I right? No, but it's going to be a huge game. I imagine Luigi's Mansion 3 is going to... Yeah, that was... If we can make a cricket sound, that would have been perfect.
There's one right behind us.
There is?
A cricket? You don't hear the cricket?
Not currently.
Really?
You don't hear it?
You don't hear that?
It's clear as day right now.
You hear that cricket chirping. I don't think the mic will pick it up, but...
All
right,
don't think I do.
2 seconds of silence. Ready, go.
Wait, but it's a pot... Okay.
I know. They could use this time to reflect on what we talked about. All right, ready, go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait. No, it didn't chirp just now, did it?
It's not even... It's still going.
He's insane.
I'm losing
my
keep
Listen,
going.
guys.
Oh my God. I ain't going to punch you in the face.
My point is... Well, how would that help the situation? Sword and Shield is going to do well. Luigi Mansion 3, I'm sure, is going to do well. I mean, they put out that 12-minute video that looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
You saw that, didn't you?
Wait, what?
Luigi's Mansion 3.
Oh, I only saw like the first 30 seconds because I didn't want to watch.
Yeah, I didn't really want to watch the whole thing
yeah,
either, but it looked good in those 30 seconds.
No, yeah, like I mean, that's just like games in general, like as technology improves, the fidelity of animation also has to improve with it. Mm-hmm. And with it, like we're starting to get like, and we have like just more cinematic quality animation. Like maybe not like.
I think I hear the cricket.
I'm not saying that. Shocked you haven't.
I think I hear
like,
it.
Like obviously not comparing like the lighting textures like from Toy Story 4 compared to like I don't know God of War, but obviously like just the character acting for games has like really gone up there, and you can really see it in this one. Like this one is so cartoony and just great looking. It has a lot of personality. If Nintendo's Disneyfying, this is the Pixar product. Yeah. But you know one game that's also probably gonna do surprisingly well. It seems like at least Ring Fit Adventure. I mean, it's early, but early success shows that in Japan, at least, it's been the number one selling game on Amazon Japan for 3 straight weeks. So Nintendo might have another hit on their hands there, which kind of nicely brings us into what we're playing and the namesake of this episode. You really don't hear it. I said I heard it a second ago. No,
it's
still going. It never stopped.
No, I know. I'm saying I already acknowledged I heard it. Like, I don't know what you need me to do.
Oh, no, that's like you still hear it, right? Okay.
I think so.
I didn't.
Yeah.
What do you mean I think so?
I'm further away.
That's like, shouldn't be a past tense. Like, you hear, like, yeah, I still hear it. But, all right, anyway.
See, one of these times you're going to say it, but it won't be chirping. They're going to be like, Jason, you're lying. And I want to get caught on a lie.
I'll tell you when it stops, and then you're going to be like, wow. It's still going, but yeah. All right, let's talk.
Anyway, yeah, so Ring Fit Adventure is where I was going with this. I've been playing it. What?
No, the tripping.
I was like, what? What's wrong with Ring Fit? But yeah, I've been playing it. It's only been out for a week though, which if you're looking at it as a fitness tool, perhaps there's enough time to properly determine how effective it really is.
Probably.
Did you
No,
weigh
it
yourself
isn't.
before?
I did not because I'm a fool.
Well,
But the point is, what I'm going to talk about at this stage is as a game, like as a new Nintendo release, there's a
Is this
lot
gonna hook you?
to already take in. What?
Is this game gonna hook you?
It sort of is starting to. But yeah, there's a lot taken already, like just as a Nintendo product. It's impressive, like
Go for
how...
Smash?
Yes. It's impressive how effective Nintendo was at kind of marrying exercise routines with what amounts to basically a pretty traditional game. Like, it's kind of cool. Like, of course, the key component is that control input, which is the two accessories. So you have the ring con, you have the leg strap. One handles all the upper body movement, the other is your leg movement. And while there's not a lot to say about the leg strap, it's, a cloth pouch that you Velcro to your thigh. And you put a little Joy-Con in, it tracks the movement. But the ring con's actually really cool because like you can squeeze it, you can stretch it. It uses a slide-in Joy-Con to detect movement to sort of give those squeezes and stretches purpose and context for the game. It can detect if you're holding it over your head. You can turn it like a steering wheel. You can press it against your stomach, etc. Like all sorts of different stuff you can do. The stomach one's kind of interesting because that's how you shield yourself when you're in battle. Like anytime the enemy attacks, you have to push with some good force, and it's like you're feeling your stomach, not your arms. And the harder you push it, and the stronger you are with pushing it, the less damage you'll receive. Plus, the thing like just has a good amount of resistance too. Like to the point about the stronger you are, it's tough, but it's not like too tough. But it's definitely like you need to exert some force on it and actually kind of work your muscles a bit. Like you can't just be like, oh yeah, and just sort of. It's not a rubber band. It's significantly sturdier. But the real cleverness in like the whole package so far is how Nintendo's utilizing the ring con and the leg strap as actual like video game devices, not fitness devices, like actual input devices. Like if there's one thing I've always loved about Nintendo, it's that time and time again they come up with these wacky new ways to play games, and then they build a whole game around it. And when you're playing it, it somehow feels totally natural, even though it's like, wait, I'm spinning my Game Boy upside down. But you're like, yep, that makes sense. This works. And what's kind of crazy about Ring Fit Adventure is they pulled it off. It feels like it feels totally natural. There is a surprisingly robust set of activities, but it all feels less like a workout and more like just variety of gameplay. I mean, you feel the burn of it, but it feels like that's just how you play the game. It doesn't feel like they're grafting things on or anything. Like here's what I mean. The game's essentially split into two chunks with each level you play. There's one where you're traveling down a linear path of the level, and then there's fighting enemies in turn-based RPG battles as you go down that path. So the linear
random encounters, or
you see them on your path, but you can't avoid them because it's a linear path.
Gotcha.
The linear travel is mostly handled by jogging in place or a high knee move if you're playing in silent mode, which is a cool feature if you live in like an apartment building and you don't want to stomp on the floor and annoy your neighbor.
Right.
But as you're jogging, there are level elements like in any other game to collect. So there are coins, there's maybe branching paths you can take, there's different hazards in the environment to overcome, and they all require doing things as you're jogging or high kneeing or whatever in tandem with those other activities. So like if you want the coins, you stretch the ring con and it kind of vacuums them in, and you have to point it where you're facing and just kind of stretch. So you're doing whatever that upper body thing is. If you want to take a branching path, often they're vertical. So you actually point the ring con down and push, and it's like you're shooting air down, and it uses that to propel you up to jump. Okay. So you're not just jogging in place and then battling. Yeah, it's actually really cool. And even things like the different environmental hazards. Giant staircase, you're going to have to take much higher steps. Water, you're going to have to do the knee-high thing, regardless of if you're in jog mode or not, because the water's bogging you down.
Yeah.
Like, it's really pretty cool because you're doing all these different things in tandem with one another. It's not just like, you're jogging, now you're fighting, so do some sort of crunch, or not crunch. What's the word I'm looking for? Not crunch. Where you, like, curl in. What's the word I'm looking for?
Sit up?
No, there's another word for it. It starts with a C.
Curls?
Maybe a curl? I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, the point is, so like it's a little more, like it feels more natural that's just going like that. But of course, once you are in the battles, then it goes even further by having like literally dozens upon dozens of moves you can unlock, all be different exercises, all do different things. Some may be yoga poses, some have you work out your arms or your shoulders or your legs. Some use the ring con, others actually have you put it down and only measure your leg movement. So there's ones where you you sit down, you have to move your legs up to your body, and the ring con just sitting next to you doing nothing. And then of course there's ones where you're kind of doing everything at once, where you have to use the ring con and like the squats, for example, you actually have to like bend your leg and then hold the ring con steady in front of you so it can sort of measure if your back is straight, but not really because you can kind of fake it out.
Is there a way to? So you said that you can choose. Well, obviously you can choose your attack.
Yeah.
And some use arms, some use.
Yep.
Can you specifically like I guess, let's say
Like
I
have
just
a leg
want
day or an arm day?
Yeah.
Sort of. So right now, at the start, no. But how it works essentially is when you go in and do an attack, that attack is then basically burned for a minute. You get one more round,
Okay.
and before it works again. So you could cater yourself to only do the leg exercises, because once you have 4 or 5 attacks, you have a couple legs, a couple arms. Or it could do just the arm exercises, but there is that one in between where you have to wait for it to refresh, essentially, where you need at least 2 you can bounce between. But yes, once you can bounce between them, you can bounce between them.
Okay.
So for the most part, yeah, I guess this is a long way of saying yes. And what's kind of cool is like as you're going through them, you're doing the attacks and they have you do sets. So it's not just like, oh, I'm doing like 2 yoga poses and now it's done. It's like, no, you're doing like 7, and about halfway through what we're going to do as the game is we're going to have you start speeding them up. So there's actually like progression going on as you're doing the exercises, which I guess for exercise purposes is good. And like any RPG, the attacks you choose can be more or less effective on the enemy, which kind of goes against the maybe leg day, arm day thing, because all the different moves are color coded. And some enemies are going to be one color, and some enemies are going to be another color, and you want to use the right color against the right person, which theoretically encourages you to actually have a more varied and fully whatevered workout, like a full body workout. So, like, you know, if you're trying to skip leg day, let's say, that might actually be slightly more difficult, but you can do it. It just might take more arm activity to get it done. That said, like, there are little workarounds should you wish to focus on specific things. You know, like any RPG, there are towns in this game. You can go and buy items that can temporarily boost attack strength or things like that. All those coins you suck up as you're walking around and stuff is the currency to buy items. So if you did want to only do leg day, you can add a boost to yourself to make it more powerful of an attack. Or if you want to stretch your arms or whatever, and then you can have that boost active and then just do that type of move. And they also, you know, because it's an RPG, you can also dress yourself up in different outfits and stuff like that you've earned through the game.
You did it.
Oh, it does that too. When you said we did it, at the end of every level, it's like strike a victory pose. And you have to like squat down and like shoot your arms up.
Oh, I was really into this game. I'm not anymore.
You don't have to do that. It's optional.
Oh, okay,
I think.
Thank God.
But it's a very encouraging game. Like, it's as you're going through and doing the exercises, it has a diagram showing you how to do it. It's very friendly. It's like cheering you on. It reminds you to drink water. It occasionally asks if you want to take a break, you know, because it knows you're pushing too hard. But this does also bring up the potential downside of Ring Fit. Like, the peripherals are great. The variety it offers is solid. But, you know, with any virtual exercise coach, it can kind of be cheated. Like, you'll get out of it only what you put into it. So, like, on the one hand, it's very good. Yeah, no, but I mean, like, on the one hand, it's very good at trying to encourage proper exercise. Like, the more rigid your squat is, as measured by how much your leg bends and the uprightness of the ring con in your hands, it's going to let your attack be more powerful. Like, it actually, the attack strength is dependent on that.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, like, if you find a workaround, like, you can hold the ring con pretty steady and hurt your back. And it's not even necessarily that you're trying to get out of it.
No, I know, but then
if you don't have good form...
I could just see a kid like doing like, oh look, I could like get away with doing all these powerful attacks without doing any of the work. Like, oh well, look who just spent $80. And
yeah, like there's some
now created a mediocre
I don't even necessarily
RPG.
mean like you're trying to get out of it. I mean more like maybe I don't know how to do a squat with my back totally straight.
Oh no,
I don't notice
that is
not,
that
and
is,
there's no one there to correct me.
No, yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah, so if
I don't know how to do. I forgot what it's called. I guess it is squats or whatever we were doing in the park that one time, Kevin. That Victor kept having to correct me over and over again because I just couldn't get the stance right. Where you just have to like keep your back straight and you go down. I think it's squat.
Yeah,
squat. Or something like that.
Something like that.
We're doing something. Yeah.
But yeah, even if you're not intentionally doing it, like I wasn't intentionally doing it, I guarantee I was not doing the best workout I can do, and there's no one there to be like, no, you're doing it wrong. Which is, and you know, anything like this got the problem like that. But the game does a good job of trying to counter it. Like when you start your exercise, right up front, you ask what your intensity is, and that dynamically scales based on how you perform, and it'll advise you, like, do you want to take it down a notch, or want to go up a notch?
I saw a video of a personal trainer playing this game, and I saw like some video of like a personal trainer playing through this game, because they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get this guy and see like what a professional thinks.
Yeah, what do you think?
And they were like, whoa, this is actually like the real deal.
No, it's legit. Like,
they're saying like if you're like someone that like actually wants to get fit, like this game actually does like everything you would need. They were saying like, obviously like not everyone can afford Persona trainers; they're like really expensive. But this is a really, really, really good alternative.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it does a really good job because not only does it like dynamically scale, and you can it has intensity levels. So if you're more in shape or more out of shape, you can play appropriately. Like I'm very out of shape, but the game also encourages you like in the midst of your exercise. Like I was saying, it has you keep it really like tries to get you to keep going. It does a good job of balancing like intense parts of the workout with cooldown periods, mostly broken down with little cut scenes or like dialogue scenes when you're between levels.
What's the Dragon Lord called or whatever?
Drago.
Yeah.
But like they have like because the whole game plays out on like a Mario style overworld map, and you go level. So you do the level, and then you have a bit of cooldown because like strike your victory pose, whatever, and then it has a couple things of dialogue, and then you can pick your next level and go. And it's like it sort of paces you.
Is there a story?
There's like a whole RPG story where basically this Drago guy got released because you got duped into opening this ring, and now the ring, who can talk,
like Pandora's box.
Like the actual ring that you are playing is a talking ring that guides you through it. And yes, it's like a Pandora's box, and now it's helping you get him back in the box, and you chase him through all these different worlds and encounter.
Had a Cappy first, now this talking ring.
I know Nintendo's pretty Disney about it, aren't they? But. Yeah, and there's also like I should mention there's also mini games throughout, so it's not always the same exact stuff. There's some that require different combinations of skills that you can do either in the main story or outside. And the thing I really liked is it does a good job of sensing, because it tracks all your movement, so it's a good job of sensing, maybe you're getting tired, and it will actually recommend, hey, why don't you call out for today? And then once you do that, it gives you these nice walkthroughs of cooldown routines to make sure you don't seize up afterwards. And they also do warm-up routines when you start it to get limber and everything, and they walk you through it all, which is kind of nice. But again, like at the end of the day, it's what you make of it. From what I can tell so far, you're only gonna get out what you put in. Like I said before, it's a lot like a gym in that regard. Like you can get a lot out of a gym, or you can buy a gym membership and do nothing with it. Like I've never been motivated to work out.
Or
you
can get Planet Fitness and get free pizza every Friday.
Or you can do that. But wait, what?
Is it free?
Wait, why would they give you pizza? Okay.
Well, yeah, every Friday they serve pizza.
I don't know if it's free, but I assume they just assumed it was because it came with the membership.
Well, Planet Fitness is a very we don't not discriminate, but like
everyone's welcome.
Everyone's welcome, and like here's some pizza on Fridays, which it's $10 a month. If
you can just go buy pizza.
Here's the thing. So there's 4 Fridays in a month, correct?
Yeah.
And I'm sure.
Every Friday. That's like
Friday.
3 free pizzas.
Yeah.
And a gym.
And like there's 3 around this area.
Okay, hold on.
So I can pay $10 a month to go to that Planet Fitness, to go to the Planet Fitness.
You can get multiple in one. Wait. Don't buy Ring Fit Adventure. Go buy this membership. It's half the price and double the goodness. No, but what I was gonna say is like if you do put stuff into that, that's actually a really good life hack.
I'm not even sure what kind of pizza it is though. So
Little Caesars maybe.
Probably.
DiGiorno.
I mean, for $10 a month.
Why not?
Why not?
But yeah, the thing about the last parting thought sort of about Ring Fit is if you do choose to put effort into it, the game rewards you for it. It tracks an insane amount of daily and overall stats. Every squat, every mile walk, the time you spend not just in the session but specifically exercising. That's something that like even Apple Watch doesn't do. It'll track if you turn on a workout, but like this will be you're just watching the dialogue, you're just standing there. I'm not going to count it towards your exercise, which is kind of a neat thing. And it can measure your heart rate surprisingly well using the IR camera and the Joy-Con. So much so, I was really surprised. It measures it about the exact same as what my Apple Watch does, which I didn't think the IR camera would be that good. And side note, fun fact, the Apple Watch has a workout option in its workout app for gaming fitness, where all it does is check a general, more active level, and then it gives you stats on that. Because I was like, how do I measure this on the watch? Because why not? And then, sure enough, there's a game controller, and I'm like, and it exists.
It wasn't a why not. I bet it was like, I'm not going to do this unless my Apple Watch.
Not true, because the first time I played Ring Fit, I did not have it tracked on my watch.
Really?
But then I was like, why am I not getting credit? So you're half right. But back to Ring Fit. You can see all these stats, and Nintendo makes it really easy to screenshot them to share to friends and social media. Like, literally, they map the Switch's screenshot button to the R button on the Ring Kong, which is kind of smart, because it's just like right there. But the coolest of all is not only can you share stuff, you can compare your performance against any friend who has the game or worldwide against people who are the same age and set the same intensity level and their actual leaderboards of everything. You can go deep into their profile and see exactly how many of a squat they did, how many of like a arm thing they did. It's really intense, the amount of data there is. And it's all just like, it's really just well thought out. Like, you could tell they were confident in this, and they put together a good product. I mean, they even are the first game to use the alarm on the Switch firmware 9.0, so it can remind you daily to do your workout should you choose to set it. Like, they really... Like, even the way it ramps up from world to world and introduces new gameplay elements and ideas, like, it feels like a very typical Nintendo game. It's just, you control it with fitness. So, the final thought here is, like, the question now becomes, how well can it hold the attention of someone like me, who, like I said, has never really had a lot of motivation to exercise? And should it succeed in keeping my attention, what sort of results will I see in the long term? Like, I don't think these are questions that I've got an answer for like a month. So I'll report back, maybe longer. I'll report back on the show at that time and be like, hey.
Just remember to weigh yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to weigh myself to start. The only other question I have, and this one is not one I'll ever get an answer.
40.
No, I think I'm like, no, I'm like
150
ish. I think I'm like upper 150s.
3? Oh.
Upper 150s maybe, lower 160s.
Huh.
I don't know. I'm 6 foot, so figure out what the BMI of that is. I don't know. But the one last question I have about Ring Fit is Nintendo.
A BMI for an
why,
optimal health person that's 6 foot, or a BMI for someone
for the optimal person, and I'll work backwards to where I am. My one last question is to Nintendo: why is this not available digitally? Because if you're doing it daily, you don't always want it in your cartridge slot. And they do sell replacement ring cons, and they do sell replacement leg straps, but they don't sell a digital version of the game, so you can't like build your own set.
Yeah, I kind of wish it was digital.
It's the one I don't usually like buying digital because I'm a weirdo that like. I mean, I like it, but I also like having my boxes on the shelf, and I'm really weird. But I would cave on this one because it's super annoying every day to swap the cartridge.
Wait, what do you swap it with? You have nothing...
I just put back the game I previously had in there in case I ever want to play it because I'm a weirdo.
What?
Listen, I don't make sense.
God.
The point is, this is a fun experience.
Weirdos got
really
weird,
cool.
I guess.
It's a really cool experience. It's surprisingly fun, while also surprisingly tiring. Like, if you set the intensity right, it is tiring. And ultimately,
Set it to max.
it's
Got it.
very Nintendo. And it's really, actually, really cool. So, that's Ring Fit. I rambled for a while about it.
Probably one of the biggest surprises of the year.
It was. I mean, also
considering it got announced like a month ago.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's only been known
insane.
for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's really good. So, for what it is. So, like... if you have any interest in it, check it out. Yeah. Plus, The Verge says it's fun to play when drunk, which I've yet to test, but I can see that for multiplayer. Or sorry, they didn't say drunk; they said a little tipsy because they don't want to encourage like alcohol abuse, and neither do we.
No.
So anyway, that's one game that's fun to play while drinking. Supposedly, I know another game that's probably pretty fun to play while drinking. Killer Queen Black.
It most certainly is not.
Oh, never mind. But how is it, though? Because you've been playing it for a few weeks. We should probably say up front we did get the review code from them, so...
But, yeah.
Now that
but to
that's
be
out
fair,
of the way.
like, yeah, I was going to buy that game, like, day one as soon as it became available. No, yeah, we had to play it, like, a good amount, and I also took it to a friend's house, and we played, like, a lot of, like, rank... Well, we played a lot of quick play just to get the feel for it, like, playing against other people online, and then we went to ranked. And, man, like, it's really fun. Like, it takes a while. Like, there are roles. You have to figure out your role. Because every team is comprised in this version of like 1 queen and 3 workers,
opposed to the 5-on-5 of the arcade version, right?
Oh yeah. So where there's 4 workers and 1 queen.
Mm.
But the game is still the same. I mean, the maps are just like slightly smaller, but you don't really even feel it once you get started. But yeah, I mean, like the workers collect berries. I mean, there's 3 ways to win each match. There's the economic, military, and snail. Military being you kill their queen 3 times. Economic means you just you fill all the holes with berries on your side, or you just ride the snail all the way to your goal, and that is very slow.
And this is all on like a single battlefield.
Yeah, and that's happening all at once. So like, oh, they're about to get the snail. Your queen better go and kill their dude riding it. Oh, their queen's almost dead. You better start playing a little more defensively or start getting more berries. And like, there are also these pods that if your queen touches them, the opponents can't use those pods because you want to get those pods so that you can upgrade your workers to be either speedy workers, where they jump on the snail, they make the snail go like at 2 or 3 times the speed, or you could become like weaponized workers, where you can't collect berries anymore, but you could kill their queen instead, which can be very valuable. And we've had matches where literally the entire team, the entire opposing team goes full aggro, so they can't collect any more berries. Mm-hmm. But our queen was Elvis, and yeah, so they couldn't really kill him, and we just won with everything else. So I don't know, there's definitely a learning curve, but I mean, I feel like it's approachable enough that anyone could just like kind of jump in and still have fun with it. Mm-hmm. But navigating the menus is not the most intuitive thing right now. Like, it still took us like quite a while just to figure out how to do a local game, and unfortunately we can't. It's impossible to do 8 people on one Switch. You need at least 2 Switches, which is kind of disappointing because we were like, oh, cool, we could do 4-on-4 because we had 8 people, but
that's kind of surprising. Actually.
But we have to do 2v2 with 2 computers in each team.
Or you could do you 4 online, but then what do the other 4 do?
Yeah. So, I mean, ultimately, like I know, like one of those friends is gonna get a Switch, so that'll be remedied. Because I mean, it all happens on one screen for both players, so you don't have to. Everyone could just look at the same TV, and that's literally what they suggest. It's like, just connect 2 switches, and there you go.
I wonder if that's a technical limitation.
Just put the other one going on. Just put the other one on the side, maybe. But I mean, it's still really fun. There were a few glitches that we encountered. Like mainly, there was a point where like I was the queen and my brother was the queen, and I was attacking the ground just because I was doing something else. But then my brother died in another part of the map. Like it registered that he died, and that was kind of weird.
I mean, I'm sure they'll patch that.
Yeah, I mean, this game is like supposed to be like a very. I mean, it is a very competitive one, so I'm sure it's gonna get addressed fairly quickly. But
I did play a couple rounds. We both actually, Kevin and I played a couple rounds with you, and you know what stuck out to me, and it's not necessarily a knock, it's just an observation. It looks different, like visually, than normal Killer Queen. Like the way it went from like 8-bit to 16-bit almost. Like
yeah, it got way more detail, which
it's interesting because like, or sorry, you're gonna say something.
Yeah, I feel like we got used to it, but there were some maps where like. I feel like the simpler art style was better and clearer to read, and now it almost feels like a little cluttered, even if it isn't for some reason. But
like I feel like on some level the characters are easier to see because they don't blend into the backgrounds as much, which is good on a smaller screen like the Switch. Because when you play Killer Queen in an arcade, which is a great experience, I highly recommend.
Apart sometimes.
But and also the screen, it's not like a 50-inch TV. That's
you need a
2
big
feet
TV
from your face. Yeah, this like
luckily when
theoretically it could be on a small
screen. When I was playing it on my other friend's house, we were playing on a TV. I think they double the size of that.
Yeah. Well, no one knows what you're pointing to, but sure.
Well, I'm putting out a 40-inch TV, so I think we were playing on an 80-inch TV.
Yeah.
So that like, when we were playing on that one, there was like no visuals. You're like, oh, cool, this looks like nice and big. I mean, it was huge. But then when we played on this TV, it's like, whoa, it's
my
tiny.
Suspicion is if they used the original art style, it would look even more difficult to tell apart because they don't even have outlines.
I can't even imagine playing this like handheld. Like, wow.
But I think the bump in graphics is actually, it kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know if this was intentional on their part or not, but I was thinking about it after, so like, why would they change it? And it's kind of like the amount of stuff that's changed between the original and this. It kind of reminds me of like NES games to Super Nintendo games. Like when you had like the super version of a game that used to be on NES, it's like, oh, it's kind of the same game, but they like, it looks different and it has some different features and it does some stuff differently, but it's like just the super version of the old game. It kind of feels like that's sort of, maybe not intentionally, but it's sort of the visual nod to that idea. Because this is like a souped up, slightly different 4-on-4 instead of 5-on-5 version of Killer Queen. And how you represent that as like the new console version, you can kind of mirror the art style switch. What?
Yeah. No, just the fact they added black in the name.
Yeah, it's black. But like that to me kind of, like they could call it Super Killer Queen. I would be like, oh, this art style change makes total sense. Mm-hmm. But that's all real. Like we only played a couple of rounds. But
yeah, I mean it's definitely a game I wouldn't recommend unless you have like a good group of friends that you feel like, oh, cool, like this is the people I would want to team up with and play with regularly.
In other words, you need good players.
Because like this is obviously like going to be like one of those games that on rotation whenever I go over that friend's house, like we're always going to try to like keep ranking up because I felt like we found like a good.
I mean, I'm not particularly good at it, but the thing about the arcade one that I sort of sensed when we were playing this one is it's still really fun as a more casual.
Oh no, experience. Yeah, like with pretty much any group of I can still see us like playing it in our groups. But,
yeah, you're just thinking from your perspective as someone who wants to play competitively. You need to only really invest if it's going to be.
Yeah, but I mean, if we happen to have like 2 Switches available, it would still be like a blast to play like as a drinking game or just like casually with like 8 people. Like
because like just like I mean it's $20, which is
I mean
is we've gotten less per dollar from multiplayer party games that we've had a lot of fun with than what this offers. I feel like in terms of value.
Yep.
But yeah, it's out now. It only took them a year and a half after we first played it. Seriously, but good job, guys.
Was quite the wait.
That wasn't sarcastic. Like good job, you actually got it out because I know there's a lot of netcode and crazy stuff.
Quite the wait.
Yeah. And then Kevin, you've been playing Fortnite.
Who's going to talk Layton versus...
Oh, I'm going to circle back just for variety. Fine. Oh. I was trying to have everyone like take a turn so it wouldn't be one person for too long.
I don't mind just like getting out of the way so I can
All right, go for it. Layton and Phoenix, you took us back to a
When did
simpler time of the 3DS when crossovers were just that.
Do you remember when the game came out? What
I can
year?
look it up.
Well, it's kind of crazy because like I remember this was the game, or at least when it was first announced. Because I remember it took a while for it to come out after its first reveal. But
2012.
oh wow! And this was probably like my most anticipating, because this game got me into Layton, because it was like, oh, I was already a huge fan of Ace Attorney, and I was like, oh, like this Professor Layton, I know it's like a kind of like a interactive novel kind of game where you just do puzzles, so it's kind of similar to Ace Attorney, but not exactly. And I loved the first game, played the second game, bought the third, never really got quite around to it, but just really loved the characters, and I feel like this is definitely my favorite crossover game, like, of all time, just because.
Wow.
Even better than Smash?
Oh yeah, I mean Smash.
Hold on, what?
Interesting.
This is a twist I did not see coming.
Because I feel like this is, when I think of a crossover game, there's like two types. I feel like there's Smash Brothers where characters are just kind of there.
Oh, you're thinking like like an actual crossing over.
Yeah, like
of two things.
Because the characters are actually like interacting with each other. Like
That's fair.
we actually get to see like how, like, Phoenix reacts to Layton's brilliance, or like how like Luke will interact with Maya, or like how they do in the situations where they're like flipped on their side. Like how does Layton act as an actual defense attorney and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Whereas in Smash Brothers, like they're just referenced like in the game.
It's just winks and nods.
Yeah, it's
Not
like Bowser.
subtle winks
Like
and
Bowser
nods.
will throw out his punch the same way against Link versus anyone else. Like they're just attacking.
So,
they could be anything.
It sounds
doesn't
like
matter.
it's like in your mind, Smash is like a mashup, and this is a true crossover.
Yeah, this is like an actual like
That's fair. Yeah, that's not quite as extreme of an answer now that he's explained it. I was ready to be like, wow, whoever actually stuck around for 1 hour and 54 minutes in got a shock of a hot take.
And
anyway.
and the way like the game like blends the two gameplays together is just really. I mean, like it's almost seamless. Like they pretty much replaced the investigation parts with
Layton puzzles.
Yeah, because in Ace Attorney you have investigation and trials, where investigation you go place to place, collect clues, talk to people, but all those places are now you play them as with the Layton gameplay, whether you're playing as Layton or not. But all the mechanics from all the games are there, which is really cool. And they also introduce a bunch of new ones.
Mm-hmm.
And this game also takes place like in I guess like in this world, both characters got sucked into a book. They're in this place called Labyrinthia, where magic is a real thing. So when you're in these trial scenarios, you actually have to, like, they don't have logic in this world, which like they address. They're like, this character like grabbed this staff, this magic scepter, and they're like, oh, well, you can't prove like this character didn't, like, just check for prints. And they're like, what are fingerprints? So it's like, okay, so I have to figure out another way to prove that they got around to that. And because magic is a thing and these crazy powers are available now, they have the potential for cases that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get in a normal Ace Attorney game, because those games are grounded in reality. And the Ace Attorney puzzles
it makes it feel a little special than just like a straight up crossover.
And not only that, but now you have like witness testimonies. Now you're cross-examining 5 witnesses or 4 witnesses at the same time, and it's cool how like sometimes the witnesses contradict each other, and you have to figure out like as you're
at
talking
the same time. So the dialogue just jumps between them, or do you mean like
so instead of like one character saying like 5 different things, you have like 5 characters each saying one different thing.
Gotcha.
And as they're talking, sometimes one character will react to something another character says, and you can talk to that person mid testimony and say like, oh, what about that? It seemed weird. And then sometimes they adjust their testimony, and
that's pretty cool.
I don't know, it's really cool. And I don't know, everything about it has been really good. I don't know what took me so long. I think what it was is like my brother played it first, and he beat it and he loved it, but this was like almost around the time it came out, and by the time he finished it, I think other games came out and it just kind of got buried.
Right.
But I mean,
so if you can find, so if people can find it, you recommend it?
Oh yeah, I mean, especially if you love Ace Attorney, like it'll make you a fan of like Professor Layton. And it's kind of funny just because,
but not the other way around.
no, and vice versa.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's funny because like Phoenix is such a. It almost feels like he does. I mean, most of the time he doesn't really have a lot of confidence, but Layton he's almost kind of portrayed as like the perfect person, I guess, as far as intelligence.
He's British.
Yeah, like he just like can't do anything wrong, so they just seem like them interacting is always kind of interesting, because it almost feels like Layton could do Phoenix's job better than Phoenix, but they usually find ways to get Layton not in that situation, so he doesn't kind of like overshadow him. And I'm about
I see that being a funny running trope throughout the thing of like
well, he's
Layton
technically
trying to overshadow Phoenix and then like.
Well, no,
can't.
I mean they kind of like acknowledge it, like, oh, okay, Layton isn't fully aware of how like
Oh sure. Yeah.
core system, blah blah blah. But I mean, he's also kind of dead right now. Well, spoiler for like a game that's like
7 years old that you're telling people go play.
But yeah, which is also kind of a nice twist. I mean, I haven't beaten it yet, but I'm like really close to it. But I've played enough of it that like I've seen everything they're gonna offer. Now at this point, it's just where does the story go?
Right.
And there's still a lot of mysteries yet to be resolved. But man, it's also just nice playing the 3DS again. Like
I remember you saying that last episode.
Yeah,
too,
the new 3DS is playing Donkey Kong Country 2 on it again, and with Layton, just so good.
It is a nice compact system.
Yeah, I mean,
I miss clamshells, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I definitely happy. I mean, I had an XL for a while, but for the new 3DS, I got a smaller one, as I've said many times before in the podcast. But I really am starting to appreciate the smaller size of it, just because of how compact and how easy I could fit it anywhere.
Right.
But yeah, that's Layton versus Phoenix, the crossover I never knew I always wanted.
Out now for the past 7 years.
Yep.
Now, Kevin, now it's your turn. You've been playing Fortnite Chapter Dose.
Yes.
How is that?
Chapter 2.
How different is it?
So for those of you not in the loop, Fortnite Battle Royale, because there's 2 parts to Fortnite if you don't know about that.
And the other one's still a thing?
It is.
I mean, I guess if you have it physically.
It is, but
like zombies, right,
the Switch, yeah, but like the Switch doesn't even have that. The Switch, I'm pretty sure, is just purely Battle Royale.
Yep.
That's crazy.
But they just at the end of the last season, season 10, they basically destroyed the island that you're on. A huge black hole happened somehow through means that I don't know. Apparently, like the Battle Royale stuff has a story.
Oh, there was like a flowing story of how things come and go out of that.
Yeah. There was like a cube, and
then the cube exploded, and then portals started appearing. All the portals started like combining over time, and then the black hole.
And then Marshmallow had a concert that was live.
Like I
do.
recently got into the game, maybe like the last 2 months, so I'm not too sure about like past events and stuff like that.
The lore.
yeah, because it apparently has crazy lore.
Yeah.
But they basically start you off in a brand new island in this game. It's actually really cool. The cinematic trailer for this chapter 2 starts, and it's like a couple of, I guess, like a squad just going around this new island, just like really nice and peaceful. But then they hear the battle bus, which
overhead.
Overhead. Have you guys seen the cinematic trailer?
No,
I'm just guessing it has to be.
I love watching the animation quality. For
they have really good animation.
It's really cool. The battle bus, they hear it and they look over it, and of course, like people in crazy skins and whatever, and the like main face of the battle royale, like the blonde dude.
Yeah.
Like he's in there, everybody's having a good time, and then he jumps off, and then the screen fades to white, and then when it comes back up, you see the guy just like if you're dropping and you're actually in the game. Like that's how they drop you off in your first game in chapter 2. Cool. It was like a really cool it was a really cool transition that was it was like, oh, so this is how they're gonna do this. And as soon as you land, you get an achievement called New Island Who Dis. So
I do like how it's like a wacky shooter. Like they don't take themselves seriously.
So that's the thing. So this chapter 2 with the brand new island, it's the unwackiest it's been since the game released.
I spoke too soon. But don't they have a blob guy now?
Yeah, but that's just a skin.
Oh yeah, okay.
In terms of the island itself, like towards the end of I guess season or chapter 1, it got insane, especially with like promotional crossovers. Like at the very end, they had
Batman,
John
Wick.
They had John Wick.
John Wick?
Borderlands.
Yeah, there's an entire
Zones or whatever.
That stuff too. Like towards the end of chapter 1, there was an entire part of the map where if you landed in it, the entire visual style of the game changed, so it became really cel shaded, which was like Borderlands. It was really cool, but it got too wacky for its own good. I feel like there was always like 3 things happening. I think Kotaku ran an article that there's just like too much happening in Fortnite, but now it's very, very much back to basics, just mainly focused on the gunplay and the building with like no gimmicks.
I assume that's so they can then build on top of it to get back to where they were.
Yeah, which
last
is kind
season,
of
but in, like, 10
disappointing.
months.
Like, I really hope that they don't just drip feed everything, like all the weapons, because they took out a lot of weapons in this game, and they took away a lot of the mobility options. Like, there was a launch pad that you could jump on it, and then you could parachute again. Like, and that's just totally gone.
You know what's weird if you think about it? This is such a huge gamble for Epic to make. To basically
And I
go,
feel
like, we
like
have
it
this
paid
cash
off.
cow. Yeah, it sounds like it did. But to like, we have this cash cow. We're not only going to cut it off for 3 days and make no money, but when we come back, we're going to take out half the things that made us money. Like, that's great with the idea of longer term revenue versus shorter term revenue. Like, that's bold.
Yeah. A couple of things that they also added. You can fish in the game now. Oh, you can swim in the game now too. Or actually, I'm not too sure if you could ever swim, but
I don't remember there being water.
There's
the water
water.
was
There's a lake.
It was always like
Oh,
shallow.
yeah, there was a lake, yeah.
But the water was always like
Right,
shallow. Like now you can swim and you can dive.
So how, if you're fishing, do you not get shot?
I mean, that's just the risk that you
That's
gotta
the
take.
risk, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
So you can fish. You'll either get like stuff to like health items, or you can get like really good weapons depending on if depending on the place that you fish. But aside from that, it's like there's only maybe a handful of weapons compared to like all the archetypes that there were at the end of the last season.
That's so crazy to me
Like
that they
they
did
took
that.
out like 2 of my favorite like type of weapons.
So is it discouraging you from playing because it's missing the stuff you enjoyed, or is it kind of like, oh, it's a fresh start and that? Are you more or less into it with all these scaling down?
I'm more into it just because like everything does feel new because of the brand new map,
Interesting.
and just how like basic, like something feels nice about just how basic it is. Like towards the end when they had the Batman crossover, as cool as it was, you got the
Battering?
not
Or no,
the battering.
grapple.
the
hook.
the hook,
The
bat
grappling
hook
hook.
or
Bat
whatever.
hook.
Yeah.
Bat grapple.
Grappling hook.
Grapple
The-
man.
Grappling
Where-
hook.
yeah, and so like somebody from like not half the map, but like from a crazy distance could just like run up on you really quick using the hook. Nobody has like crazy mobility options now. It's just strictly building, which I've never been good at, and shooting,
I would never
which
be
I've
able to
never been good at. But playing with friends, it's always a good
It
time.
almost sounds like you're saying if you're like a lapsed Fortniter who tried and that got too complicated or you never were good at it, it's like this is like a reset
Because
for
like
you.
2 months ago, it was like, oh yeah, you
For
got
me.
this, you got this, you got these kinds of launch pads. You have, it was almost too much to take in. Now it's just back to basics. And I like it. Like I said, I will be disappointed if the only reason that they did this reset was to then drip feed us all the content that they had previously given to
Right.
like the Chapter 1 players.
Which or equivalents.
Yeah,
Would be my guess.
so-
I don't think they're gonna bring back the actual. Well, I guess for guns they could bring it back.
Yeah, so
Maybe I should check this out because it
Is
was like
there an
overwhelming
option-
when I first jumped in after E3 a year ago.
Yeah,
like
and
that
this is
week,
just-
but it's like a clean slate.
it's a clean slate.
basically.
Yeah.
Do they have like any kind of option where it's like, oh, play with everything? Like it's like a weird, like a free play mode or something, or
They had that sandbox for a
or is
while.
everyone, or is it literally just like, oh yeah, everything literally is gone. This is everything now. So like those people that I guess.
Oh no, that's all wiped, right? They completely
What is-
wiped because it's all living on the server, and that's just wiped essentially.
Like,
you
pretty
can't
much-
you can't go back to anything.
Oh,
that
I was
in
asking
season
like,
one,
yeah,
right?
like, is there like a mode where you could pretty much play with how it was, but
No.
not be in the ranked mode? I guess. Or
No,
whatever it
it's all on this new island.
Oh,
so that
interesting.
old
It's
island
really
is
interesting.
gone.
Oh yeah, or like
If-
an old island mode. Or
if-
something?
This podcast wasn't already at its normal length, I would totally dive into a whole like. I'm sparing everyone, but I would totally dive into a
God.
whole like game preservation. Like this is so weird that games like it's basically like the code was erased. But-
Apex Legends also just recently released
crazy
its
justice.
new map, and as far as I can tell, you can't go back to the old one.
It's so weird.
Huh.
Like
The only one
there's
that's
no
done it right.
medium where I guess I'm launching into this. There's no medium though where
Abridged.
it's just gone. Like if there's a new season
Right.
of a show, there's still the old season. If there's new music, like you liked old Coldplay, I'm cool with new Coldplay too. But you could just go listen to old Coldplay, and I can listen to both Coldplays. But it's weird that they're just like, nope, you will never see that again.
PUBG is so far the only battle royale that's actually kept its old map,
Yeah,
or its old maps. I think it has 4 now.
it's like the Snapchat or Instagram story of video games. It's all
Sure.
ephemeral. It's all ephemeral. It's weird. It's not necessarily bad. It's just weird to think about.
And they did bring back like some old locales, and they put into this new map, but with like a new spin on it. I'm having a good time with it.
It sounds fun. I actually might check it out because it sounds like this is like the time.
I already
to
have it
jump in.
downloaded because I play it with my cousins occasionally.
I have it downloaded, but haven't touched it since after E3 last year, like 2018.
I mean, technically, we can all play together, seeing as how there's crossplay.
That's true.
I thought there wasn't with the Switch and anything.
Oh no, Switch is now with
No,
mobile.
I mean, regardless, I can bring you guys in to my server.
Cool.
So you'll be.
Yeah, we'll be
another
with
thing
you.
that they did.
I guess I do have it on PS4 too.
I don't. So bring me on in.
Another thing that they did, which I'm not a fan of, this where I'll end it. They added bots to the game.
I heard about that. So it's kind of ease in new players. Right?
Yeah. So because
again,
at the end of the last season, this is supposed to be 99 or 100 players, whatever. You wouldn't always get to that number. You'd get to 92, 89.
Right, and then
now it's filled with bots.
Always 100?
And it's always 100.
They keep it 100.
They keep it 100, but unfortunately, I'm like, oh, I just got this sick kill. Oh, it was a bot.
Oh, let me rephrase. They keep it 100 by not keeping it 100. They physically keep it 100, but figuratively do not.
Yeah, correct. And it's just this disappointment, like, oh, so, like, we'll be calling out, oh, somebody's north. And then we'll shoot at them, and they'll just shoot back at us without, like, any building. It's like, oh, it's a bot.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. I think it's kind of smart they did, because the problem with, I sort of alluded to this, but the problem with Fortnite that I always had is if you're not there every step of the way, if you're not the one going to every Marshmallow concert in the game, and every event, and watching every rocket launch, and every black hole, and all that, it's really easy to get lost, and it's hard to catch up.
Yeah.
So the bots and the reset feel like Epic going, hey, let's get people back, which makes sense because there's a stat that in July, revenue in the game was down by half, 50%.
Whoa.
Or something crazy like that. So it makes sense, and it generates so much attention. So it's working. It got me interested. It's working, or you at least got me interested in it. So that's
kids
cool.
to go outside for 2 days,
and it's cool. What?
I got kids to go outside for.
Not really though. They just stared at streams of it.
Oh, I guess most
7 million people watch streams. I said this at the top of the show.
Yeah.
7 million people. I don't know if it was concurrent or not though. But yeah, I might have to check out Fortnite again.
Cool.
Yeah, and with that, I think that's the episode. Unless there's anything we're missing.
No.
Cool. So our next one is on November 10th, which is my dad's birthday, actually. And it's going to be a pretty big one, I think. We're going to have Luigi's Mansion 3. We're going to have Asphalt 9 for Switch. We're going to have, get ready, guys, Nintendo's second quarter financial report. But actually, the numbers don't matter. What's interesting is that October briefing is often when Nintendo announces stuff. If I'm not mistaken, I think they did Super Nintendo World at one of the October briefings. If it wasn't Nintendo World, it was the Mario movie. But they did one of those at one of these briefings, the second quarter one. So there could be some legitimately interesting news coming out of this, not just numbers, which will, like I was saying before, when Nintendo does great, what's there to say? So we'll see. But to make sure you don't miss whatever cool stuff might be announced, you can go anywhere on the internet to find it. But you can hear our takes of it on our next episode on on November 10th. Easiest way to make sure you don't miss it, you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube. Our channel is roundandtown.com, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify. We are also on Twitter at Round Nintendo, and of course tweet out every episode. And we are individually on Twitter. I am JSR7, Kevin is KVN Gomez, Angel is WEIRO_O, and Kevin, as we now do as tradition, you have the final word.
Forget about the contest because apparently it's not happening.
It is.